We know of new methods of attack. The Trojan horse, the fifth column.
I think we're recording now. I think we're broadcasting now.
Yes.
Only 14 minutes into the live stream. Did
14
we?
minutes. It's not bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
Did we have like
Maximilian.
Beth?
You wanna go?
yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Happy anniversary.
happy anniversary?
fifth anniversary.
Happy anniversary to everyone,
There we go.
including
Maximilian?
Odor and
Happy anniversary.
Maximilian the
Happy
dog.
anniversary.
We don't know what's happening.
Does anyone ever?
No, do I not get a dog is having a
The dog likes.
I didn't
Dog
get a
likes
clank.
expensive scotch.
Keeps
I didn't get a
jumping off the
clank.
table, Thor.
There you go. There we go.
Oh,
Happy
God.
anniversary. 10 years ago today.
Camille did a surprise fisting.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Which is just a fist bump. That's all. It's just a
Just
fist bump.
fist bump?
Did
It's a
you just
fist
say a
bump.
surprise fisting?
That was.
That is not the correct terminology.
What is it?
That is not. You do not say. No, fisting is not something you. I think that if
Yeah.
they would have known what that is
Yeah.
in the 1960s and 70s, it would have been one of those words like those whatever it was, 8 words, 9 words that are
Hold
not
on, we
allowed.
got something coming in.
Whoa!
Oh,
There's a cake.
Look at that.
Oh.
Yay. Yay. You guys come around the back. Come around the back. Come around the back. Look at that.
Yes.
Yay. Look at that.
Thank
Yay.
you, Nancy.
Happy
and
Passover.
everyone.
Happy Passover to everybody.
Easter. Easter is coming.
Easter's coming.
Wow.
Easter is coming.
Wasn't here.
No, stop that. I
Which
love
what?
Thor. I'm glad he's here.
Is Thor here?
I
What
can.
kind
I
of-
can leave.
No.
No.
I can
What kind
leave.
of cake is this?
You had an empty seat.
Yeah.
So
This
wait,
is like the Oscars.
is someone gonna blow this out? We have to do.
All right, do it at the same time. Ready?
Yeah, this just gets spit all over it.
3.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
Jason
I wanna eat it
Mojica,
now.
our producer, who's been here all day setting this up. It looks like he's been working for us right now for 10 years. He looks bedraggled.
He's aged
He
more than
looks
Barack Obama
exhausted.
did
It's
in the
his
presidency.
He looks like Ron Wood right now, craggy faced.
He looks like
and
Ron Brown. He's
By the way,
dead.
I want to say, someone made an obnoxious comment on the Substack, as they tend to do.
Shocker.
And they said, they made the old
it's not the
tired joke about me going to dinner, like, get some new material. But my daughter pointed out to me last night when we were in Florida, when we were leaving, said, I went to the bathroom and I came out and she said, Papa, turn around. There's someone behind the table behind us. It was Rod Stewart.
Oh wow.
Yes, he looked amazing. Yeah, and he
Really?
was like taking a picture of the fan, and I was like kind of drunk, so I didn't want to say anything because I wanted to go talk about every picture tells a story.
Of course you did.
And how it was racist against Asians, but I didn't have a chance. But I saw Rod Stewart last night, and I think he would have said happy anniversary if I had explained the
You could
situation
have
to
only
him.
pansed him. Like, just
Yeah, it would have been great.
Let's
So
do
I
this.
saw Rod Stewart
I
last night. I
have
was
a
very
question
excited.
about your parenting.
What about it?
Livia,
I think she does too.
Livia knew who Rod Stewart was.
Oh my
No, no.
God, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
she knew who it was right
Of
away.
course, yeah.
Okay.
She loves Rod the Mod. Yeah, she's a Rod Stewart fan.
Okay. The way you
mean,
told
she-
the story, it made it sound as though she
No,
just saw
she was the
something
one that
happening.
pointed out. She said, Rod Stewart is here.
Oh.
And I was like, is this like somebody you go to high school with? And I turned around and it was in fact Rod Stewart, who's had a lot of work done. And it looks very
Really good work.
Short guy?
He looked kind of short.
Yeah.
You know, there's that song he does, which I've heard so many times, where he actually is live and he says, and now I'm going to play one that you all know. And then I forget the name of the song, but it's like, this song is like 35 years old. That's the first time I sang it. And my wife was 3.
Yeah. Wow. It's really, yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah. And
Okay.
Ghislaine is in the back clapping.
That is
Yeah.
impressive. I don't know
Um,
if I know a single Rod Stewart song.
That is the blackest thing I've ever
You
said.
want my body.
Is that a Rod
Yeah,
Stewart
it's a
song?
Rod Stewart
Stairway
song.
to Heaven? You never heard of
Yeah,
Stairway to
Stairway to
Heaven?
Heaven.
Stairway to Heaven is not
Yes,
Rod
it is.
Stewart.
It's Rod Stewart and a guy called Led Zeppelin. Who was his
The
friend.
doors are open.
Yeah.
You never heard of, The Wall? We don't
That's
need no
Stairway to
education. Rod Stewart and Pink Floyd. You never heard
No,
that
that
one?
was
That's
recorded.
Rod
That was
Stewart?
recorded by a guy, a bass player called Julius Stryker. You don't know who's in. The anti-Semitic guy who's in the band, who's called anti-Semitic, by the way, by his own bandmate.
It is actually quite
David
outrageous,
Gilmour
but it's
calls him
actually
an
quite no.
anti-Semitic.
David Gilmour is Pink Floyd.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
This guy is not Pink
oh,
Floyd.
He just calls
oh.
him this guy.
It's no,
Yeah.
this guy is not
Wow.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
The
You
idea
won't
that
say
this
his
guy
name,
is
it's
Pink
Voldemort.
Floyd is outrageous. David Gilmour is Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
And someone who does there's a pinball company. By the way, these pinball machines are insane. They're called I think it's called pinball jack machines or something. They're like 15 grand, and they did one for Elton John. They did one for
Oh, yeah.
they're really incredible, and they have screens on them, and they're very
They had a
special
Rod Stewart
machines.
one when I was,
I asked him why not do a
top.
Pink Floyd machine. It's Brett Abbas is the lead investor, and he was just like, can't not gonna do the Pink Floyd because of this guy. And it's like
This guy, by the way, is Roger Waters.
you
You
can
might have
just
seen
call
him
it-
on
Yeah.
Press TV.
you can Roger Waters. You may know
I've seen it
from
on RT
RT
and Press
Telesaur,
TV.
Press
Yeah,
TV,
yeah.
and everywhere people who love dictatorships and hate
Yes.
humanity appear.
Yeah.
And I said, why don't you just call it David Gilmour's Pink Floyd, and this will resolve the problem. But it's just, yeah.
I think it's also that it's kind of like black,
What's that?
and white. Doesn't make for good pinball. Like
No,
you
it's a
kinda,
bit
like,
stoner.
Nah, dude.
So-
No, there's so much
Saturday.
good stuff. There's
Yeah.
so much good stuff. And the way they do the video on the pinball thing, they have videos playing while you're playing pinball, and
Very
it
distracting.
really
sounds like
got
that's
pinball
a
machines
thing that
that-
people might do if they're really stoned. Thor.
So,
Right.
by the way, we haven't introduced the fact that there was an empty seat because we're going to cycle some guests in and out. And Thor came over with his dog,
Maximilian.
Maximilian, and sat down. But it's okay. And the reason it's okay is because when Nicolas Maduro was snatched by the United States, Thor, from a hotel room, you guys probably all listened to this, in Switzerland?
Geneva, yes.
Yeah, in Geneva. Called in, and we did a great episode like an hour after this happened. And then it turned into one of the more difficult evenings of my life because I was very happy about what was happening in Venezuela. But Thor gets in touch from Switzerland and says, "I'm lisping," and I was like, I know you're gay. Like, let's not. I don't know. You don't have to talk about it. Like, we're not. It's not important. It's Maduro. He said, "No, I'm lisping," and I said again, and it turned out that some of the audio treatment had given him a very pronounced lisp.
Yeah.
And I went back and listened to it, and I was like, "Oh, that's bad." So I worked on that all night to make you sound
Hours and hours.
My
More
friend
Venezuelan.
Debbie, my
Didn't
friend
hear
Debbie
it.
calls me and says, "Did you have oral surgery?"
Yes.
And I was like, "No, I didn't have oral surgery."
He goes to
That's
Switzerland to
sweet.
get his
Well, it sounds
crowns.
like you have a lisp.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't have a lisp.
Yeah.
And
So
it's
this
like,
is
it
my.
sounds like it on the show.
So the payback for making you a mincing, lisping dandy is to sit in the seat.
I think if you, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a lisp. But if you don't have a lisp, why you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Huh.
that's right.
Sounds
So
like
we're
you
off to
think
a great
something's wrong with
start.
having a list.
Yeah, it sounds like you. Yeah, is that maybe some of your inner homophobia coming out?
Inner. So Jonathan Ross Rogers asked the question: how's Thor feeling about Delcy? I have a feeling I know the answer to this question, but how are you feeling about Delcy? She's reformed. She's
great.
our
She's a great
bastard
leader.
now.
She's a great
Facial
leader.
expression.
I don't know.
Look.
what your problem is.
The reality is, Venezuela
This is
has
Delcy Rodriguez, the
Venezuela
scumbag.
has an acting president, quote unquote, that, according to the United States, is leading the transition.
Yes.
In which case, there's two ways this is going to go. You're familiar with Lavrenti Beria?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Do you know what happened after Stalin died?
Yes.
Beria, who was number 2
Yeah.
in the machinery, one of the most evil sociopathic killers, sat down with the rest of the guys in the Politburo and said, "Guys, let's end this. Let's completely end this. Let's just throw away this communism thing. Let's end the regime, move towards something different," which is quite remarkable.
Yes.
That Beria would do this. And Khrushchev, who, of course, the West later called the Great Reformer, because, of course, he's going to be a reformer, because who's not going to be a reformer post-Stalin? Who's not going to look good after Stalin?
He was Stalin's triggerman in the Ukraine, but
Right,
we'll
but
let it happen.
Who's not going to look good?
Yeah,
right.
sure.
So Beria wanted to end it. Khrushchev and the others were like, no.
Yeah.
No, Lavrenti. And they got rid of Beria, disappeared him, or unalived him.
They unalived him.
They
for sure,
unalived
yeah.
him and continued this hideous dictatorship.
Yes.
One way this could go is Delcy Rodriguez declares publicly I am not going to run for president. I'm not going to run in the next elections. I'm going to carry out real, authentic elections that will be verified and so on and so forth. And there's a lot of
Jimmy Carter's
very good
dead.
ways.
How do we
No,
verify?
not with Jimmy Carter as the person doing it. And then it'll come to an end, and I will hand over power to the next person who is elected. If that were to happen, she would go down as a historic figure that despite her past, despite being in charge of the secret police, despite the killings, despite all the rest, she will be remembered as, that will be the most important thing she will be remembered for. That
Sounds
is
unlikely.
a possibility.
Yeah.
Possibility.
No. You got to remember, magical realism, the concept started in Venezuela. Did you know that?
I did not know that, actually.
Magical realism is from northern South America, and then a lot of authors spread it everywhere. The first magical realist was Bolivar.
Do people know what
who wrote
magical
a
realism is?
text.
Do they know? Generally,
More or less.
It's a
but
genre.
literary
It's a
genre,
genre. It's a
yeah.
literary genre.
Yeah.
But a literary genre where the most impossible thing, the most unlikely thing,
Yes.
And
actually
oftentimes
happens.
beautiful and
Yes,
like
wonderful.
whimsical.
There's
And
also
right.
a lot
And
of like child sex.
Bolivar was the first magical realist writer. He wrote an essay called Mi delirio sobre el chimborazo. That's, if you want to Google it, you'll
Spanish?
find
He
it
just made that
online.
up,
My delirium at the Chimborazo, and which of course Chimborazo was a peak, a mountain. So what he's doing in there, and it's delirium, because magical realism is a delirium. It's like, you have too many of these, you end up in a delirium.
We're going to see it.
So not from me.
For me, yeah.
But if this were to happen, it would be a historic moment, and Delcy Rodriguez would go down in history. What is likely to happen is she will carry out a campaign of destruction against various people in the opposition, put them to fight, set up an electoral machinery with the approval of the United States is actually going to swing the election her way, and then she's going to seek power democratically the way that Ortega came back in after being roundly defeated and the dictatorship ended, and reinstall it and wait out the clock on the Trump administration, and then move into a different kind of dictatorship, a pro-business dictatorship that America is not going to have so many problems with.
If that happens, was it a mistake?
Which one?
If the second thing happens, was the U.S. intervention a mistake?
Well, there's a lot loaded in that sense.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. U.S. intervention is something we could spend 45 minutes about. But
We took the Maduro.
no,
vote on it.
it's law enforcement
He's
action.
over there.
Law enforcement action.
We invited Maduro. He couldn't make it.
I predicted that Maduro was going to be taken to a judge and arrested at this table
At this table.
months before it
You
happened.
did. You predicted many things that turned
I
out to be
predicted
true.
exactly that he was going to be. People are like, no, he's not going to get arrested.
Interesting.
And so,
How do you have such good prediction skills?
well,
Continue. Continue. No, it's okay. It's okay. We'll hang that out there for people. Go ahead.
Sure. I have a shaman.
Are you
I have
active
a
on?
seer.
Are you active on Polymarket? Is
I'm
the real
active on
question.
Palantir.
Yeah.
I have a Palantir at home, and I look into the Palantir
Yes.
every night, and I try and figure out. And then I go on Kalshi. Kalshi, is that what it's
I
called?
think that's the other one. Yeah.
And I place my bets.
I think that's your
Maximilian,
animal
are you
for.
He is piping up. And Maximilian, come.
What's happening? I'm not even drunk yet. And this is already happening. Jonathan,
Maximilian,
did you invite him?
if the election with Venezuela featured Maximilian in a 1-to-1 race against Delcy, Maximilian would absolutely have more charisma and would definitely win.
I'm sending this to Chandler now.
So yeah, you should totally do that.
Okay.
So Maximilian is only 7 months old, and he's a very well-behaved puppy.
See,
Very well-behaved.
he wants that
Is,
cake.
have there been any plans for an election announced at all, or even hinted at?
Before an election has to happen, you have to. People say you have to stabilize the country. What does stabilize the country mean? No, you can't have cake. Stabilize
what
the
it
country
means.
means you have to disarm the armed
Venezuelans
armed
cannot have
militias.
cake.
The armed militias can't be armed.
Okay.
The irregular groups that have weapons can't have these things. That's absolutely central to it. Now,
For his vape to give
Yeah,
Maximilian.
no, I'm trying to see if I can
Where's
find
pills?
like a treat or something that I may.
Give him a candle.
He's fine now.
It's fine.
Give him
Yeah,
the
little
candle.
cookies on
No,
there.
no, don't give him that. Don't give him that. He's good.
Just don't step on his tail, Moynihan. Yeah.
So I hope that answers your
Very
question.
good boy. Yeah.
I have a friend, you know him too, he surprised me by telling me he was back in Venezuela. He left because he had to leave, and now he's back, and he's just taken out a Slim Jim, by the way.
No, it's not a Slim Jim.
Okay.
So you know what this is? So these treats are sold, and they're dog treats, and
Yeah.
what they actually are,
They're-
you look in the ingredients,
think that's-
and
I
it's
know.
called a pizzle.
Yeah.
And I'm
Language.
like, what's a pizzle?
Yes.
I can
Pizzle.
guess, yeah.
It's actually a body part.
Yes.
That's what I was listening
It's actually a
to.
body
Yeah,
part.
yeah,
What body
Yeah.
part? I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah.
a pizzle.
It's a pizzle.
yeah.
It's a body part.
In this
Fashizzle-
household, there's a
fashizzle,
lot
manizzle.
of pizzles and mouths.
It's actually a body
yeah,
part.
yeah.
What?
They're always
Yeah.
putting the
I'm sorry.
pizzle in the
It's
mouth.
a pizzle.
You know,
It's
the
a pizzle.
amount of
It's
a
you know,
body part.
it's
If
not
ever
like
there was a
in
hostile
this
environment,
household, there's a
Fashizzle.
lot of
if,
pizzles
we were-
and
if
mouths.
this is a college campus,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
that you would be
They're always
a
putting
college
pizzle in
campus
the
to
mouth.
check.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
an ongoing
Yeah.
basis, a
Yeah.
body part. If
Not
ever there was a
in
hostile
this
environment,
household.
Fashizzle.
This is
sort of,
post-Trump rules. now.
my transcript would have insulted by
But
by
on-
Michael
when
again,
on
again,
the
and
pizzle,
again.
well, let's pass on the pizzle for the moment. When are you thinking that it would be possible for you to go back?
Insulted.
I didn't think it was possible for this friend of mine who I know that you also know. And he said, no, it pass is, on and the he's pizzle there at the moment. Can you go back anytime soon?
Absolutely
are you
not.
No.
No.
Still no?
No, and it's not so much the government; it's the enablers of the government. Who
Yeah.
a lot of people in the finance field, a lot of people who have engaged in massive amounts of corruption, stolen billions of dollars. They would be very grateful if I would have a bad time. So I'm just it's like not worth it.
Not worth it.
But I definitely look forward to it.
Yeah.
It'll happen at some point.
All right.
It'll happen at some point.
Well-
But I live in this wonderful country. It's one of the greatest countries in the world.
You're
One
not a
of
s-
the? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not one of the.
One of the?
Yeah, it is.
It is the.
It is the.
There's no question. It is the. And people say, well, but what about this thing that's terrible that's happening in America? And I say to my friends in Europe, who are obsessed, by the way, with
Yes.
everything that's happening in America 24/7.
Correct.
And it's like, what about your country? It's like, no, but this and the Epstein files and the this and
The
ICE
Epstein
and this
files?
and everything. Europeans are
what makes America
obsessed with
great, to be
everything that
honest.
happens here. And it's like,
yeah.
because here we actually look at our problems and study them quite critically, and oftentimes then seek to undo the damage or harm that's been done and compensate or recompensate or, go too far in one direction when America has this capacity for looking at its own issues and addressing them in a way that Europe never has. And people say, well, America hasn't done enough to address this thing. Europe never did.
I think at the moment, though, most Americans are paying attention to what the hell Israel is doing, which is the actual power behind the throne.
Yeah.
They don't think that in Europe?
Man, you go on to
Wow.
Megyn Kelly's show one time,
I'm not.
Seriously.
one segment,
I'm not
and he
going
comes
near that one.
back
I'm not
on
going near that one.
Passover of all days.
It's
Passover.
sarcasm.
Like,
Yeah.
we could, is it?
It's also April Fool's
But did
Day.
you see? I thought this might have been April Fool's. Matt sent a clip of. Was it you sent the Norm Finkelstein?
No, it wasn't me.
No, I sent it.
You sent the Norm
Yeah.
Finkelstein clip.
We get mistaken
where-
for each other a
Yeah,
lot.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a very similar cadence.
Well.
And Norm Finkelstein, who was attacking people for saying that Israel was responsible both for the Iraq War
Yes.
and the Iran War. And
Confusingly
it was like-
posted today.
It was posted today,
Yeah.
and it was like a 4-minute thing. I thought it was like maybe taken out of context.
Did you watch it?
Or AI.
Yeah, but it's like one sentence because it's Finkelstein and it's 4 minutes. He's like,
what did the sentence sound like?
so you're lying about Israel? No. What's the guy's name? The guy who quit. I'm forgetting his name.
Oh my
Joe
gosh.
Kent.
Joe Kent.
It was an attack on Joe Kent. He's like, Joe Kent is a liar. He's lying about Israel. This is not true. You know it is not true. And he goes back to the Gulf War. He talks.
Yeah,
he
Donald
defends.
Rumsfeld
Well, he
and-
defends Rumsfeld and Cheney
Cheney.
by being like they're too clever to
Yes.
be pushed around.
Yeah.
By Jews like me. Was like kind of his. Yeah, he was like, no, we're not doing that. So it was kind of amazing. I was like, a 4-minute clip.
I think he took a
in
shot
which-
at Candace Owens, too.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he went on her show, which
Did
is
he?
yeah. But it was amazing. It was a 4-minute clip in which I agreed with everything that
Yeah.
Norman Finkelstein
Talked about the
said.
JFK
Wow.
assassination.
He's like, if
and-
you
new
think
horseshoe
JFK
theory.
was killed by Israel, You're a moron.
Why is he covering for
It's
them?
very simple.
They got to him,
Yeah. He was like,
obviously.
he went in on everything. And I was like, fuck, I guess I'm a fan of Finkelstein now
Bring
for
him
a
on.
minute. But yeah, maybe not.
Moynihan Finkelstein? I think,
Well, I
I
say-
think that's a premium event.
That would be a great. I would just do it back to him, and he wouldn't even notice. It's like when you're doing the Chinese accent. They're like, "Stop!" As a Chinese, they're like, "No, it just sounds normal. It's totally fine." But yeah, the Finkelstein thing. I sent it. Then after you sent it to me, I sent it to Noam Dworman, and he wrote back, "See, he can be right once in a while," which he talked about on the show.
He sure did.
That he has this hope that he can convince Norman Finkelstein.
Infinite
And I
hope,
said,
yeah.
no, it's impossible. And then this clip
Maybe
apparently
he was right.
he said
Should
it
we see if we
vindicated
have any other super chat questions for
Do we have any?
Thor?
What do we got going on? We're still
Thor,
figuring
some
this
Some
out.
live stream, for
Maybe I
fuck's
should-
sake.
Yeah, so we got to look
actually
at
pull
this.
this up.
All right, can you see it from there, Matt?
I can see a little bit.
Pick one out. What does the crown mean?
The crown.
No kings. What does that mean?
Well, the crowns are supposed. There's some. It's supposed to
Alright.
be something of like.
Of significance.
I actually do need glasses.
I
Like, I
can't.
really can't.
You can't. You gotta just take it and get them. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Now we go.
That's better.
Based
That's
Finkelstein.
better.
Moynihan has always been a fan of
Thor is a
Finkelstein.
good-looking rascal. Wow.
Who's that?
Okay.
It's a gay.
Gamo Suzuki says
Gamo
Thor is a
Suzuki, I think.
good-looking rascal.
Well, thank you, Damos.
How do you get in
Wait,
touch,
anyone
Thor?
think
Yeah.
Trump will say tonight
Or the
he's
hot
stepping down as president. Be a great April Fool's joke. That would actually be pretty good.
I mean, if
wait,
he came out
okay.
and did
That's
that,
entirely
I want to
possible.
know if Thor thinks we'll go mess up Cuba next, says Jack.
Wow.
Thor?
Thor's.
I
answer
love
is-
the next one. Why
Okay.
are you gay?
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
that's not how you spell it.
I
man.
actually-
Disco.
So that
Disco,
guy,
you win.
that guy, the
G-A-Y-E.
why are you gay
Yeah,
guy?
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So he's on Cameo,
Yeah.
Oh, is
and I bought one of the cameos.
did?
he? Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. Let me guess what you made him say.
I have a trainer in LA. His name is Rocco Di Stefano.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
Yes, you do.
I know why he's gay.
I've ever heard.
So
Yeah,
many.
yeah.
Trainer?
Yeah.
There's like
I've
so
never
many
trained
gay
in those
guys
arts.
who are into Rocco because he is like absolutely beautiful guy. He's short, beautiful, perfect body. His dad was a bodybuilder, and he always is repeating the line, "Why are you gay?" And I hired this guy and I wrote the whole script. And you can write the script that the guy completely ignored my script.
Yeah.
Completely ignored.
Rocco,
took the money,
what
took
is your
the money,
problem?
and then did the "Why
Wow.
are you gay" thing,
And then just sent it.
and then just sent it. And it's just like completely Nigerianed me out of the money.
he's Nigeria.
He Nigerianed me out of the money.
Nigerian-
Actually, he's Uganda.
Yeah.
Uganda.
I was gonna say, is he Nigerian?
But it's not
No.
the Nigerian phone scam. You know how it is.
I mean,
Yeah.
they all look alike. Is
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you- is
yeah.
the
I
point.
mean,
yeah.
in fairness. But my daughter and I do this all the time because my favorite and her favorite line is, "Do I call you Mister?" Because she says she's are you a transgender? Do I call you Mister?
You
like-
are gay.
You are gay.
But that interview was really interesting because
an
no,
hour.
if you it's an hour interview.
hour
People only
interview.
look at the little clips.
Yeah.
But the interview is fascinating because you see this guy who has never had any contact with someone who is gay, and he's actually sitting across from a transgender man, someone who identifies as a man who dates a woman. This person he's
Okay.
across from,
Yeah.
and you can see that this guy's going on the basis of things he's just been fed by the
Yeah.
Ugandan media ecosystem, and this other person is quite honest and courageous to go on
Very-
this show
very
in
courageous,
Uganda to go on this show, and so you get to see two very interesting things happening at the same time. One of them made a career out of it and made a
Yes.
lot of money out of
Yeah.
it. T-shirts, and there's a whole bunch of merchandise around the "Why are you gay" thing.
Yeah.
And so the answer to the question, why are you gay, is, and I think if you ask anyone who is gay, is because I was born this way.
Yeah.
That's why. And, I think science is increasingly indicating that it is genetic. And it has to do, there's like the more males, the more older brothers a person has in a family, the more likely that the next one will be gay.
I saw that.
And you saw
recently.
that.
How many older
I haven't.
brothers?
I
It's
didn't
very
get to
interesting.
look
One.
at the study itself.
It's very
but-
interesting, and it's got to do with
too.
testosterone,
too.
and I don't know if
I'm
it's genetic.
skeptical of this result. Yeah. Well,
I
that
don't know
particular
if it's
result.
genetic.
Yeah.
The point is, once you have accepted it, I'd say most, if not all, I don't think I've ever met a gay man who has not said that if they could choose and take a pill and make it disappear, that they would actually choose that pill. I certainly would not choose that pill.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly happy.
I didn't think you would.
No, I'm perfectly happy
if
with
I were
being
gay.
me.
Yeah, I didn't think you would
No.
either. Yeah.
Have a lot more.
Well, because I've
sex.
talked to, it's all the time.
Yeah.
It's like exhausting.
Most of
The only problem with being gay is it's so exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all you do is have sex.
Well,
Yeah.
and
According-
That's not true.
This is what I've heard.
That's not true.
This is what I've been
According
told.
to people like you, you have an app, and it's just like, oh, okay.
I think
like I gotta go talk to people, pretend I'm interested. Be like,
Oh,
that's
you don't
really-
have apps?
I
You don't have apps?
Not
I
like
do.
yours.
Yeah,
You
no,
don't have
no,
apps?
yours are different. It's
The
like,
only
oh,
difference. Let me
This
explain.
happens
Let me
every
explain the
single time
difference.
they are
There
on
is
the
no
podcast.
difference.
totally.
Every
is
single time.
there is
Jamaican.
zero difference. Zero difference between your sexual drive and my sexual drive.
I know, but the other
There's
person-
only a difference between the fact that I'm on the side of a population who everyone else in the population
know.
has the
Yes.
same sex drive.
Yes.
Which is why the HIV crisis happened. Because when you have one set of population wanting to have sex all the time, well, you're going to see this propagate.
Yeah.
And if it was exclusively a heterosexual thing, it would not have propagated.
Of course.
Do you see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
there's a good book about that called Sexual Ecology by a guy named Gabriella Rottillo. The 90s book's very good, and it
thought
makes
that was
it
a
makes
setup
that
for a joke
It makes
initially.
no, it's true, it's
Yeah.
true. But no, the joke, which is totally real, is it is different because we have apps, right? But the app is buy me dinner. Pretend I'm funny. Pretend I'm interesting. Yours is I'm going to get a cronut. Can I get a hand job? Yeah, sure. It's like it. It's true. They all tell me it. All the gays. They tell me like, "What did you do this
That's
morning?"
a
It's
lie.
like,
We don't get
I went-
cronuts.
I went-
We don't go for cronuts.
No, it's like
we'll
Japan.
go for a croissant.
Get a croissant. Yeah.
For a croissant.
Yeah, like, but it's like you have a yoga mat, and you're like, "Oh, I just have a few minutes."
Anybody in?
It's like I have a few minutes. So I get like my oil changed or something.
This is
They're like,
honestly,
it's like great.
every single time, like a gay man is on the podcast,
Yeah.
this happens. There is
Yeah.
a moment where the conversation
Just
begins
jealousy.
and the campaign begins.
But there is such a
Just
thing.
agitating.
But you're missing a part that a lot
Yeah.
of people lack, which is the privilege part.
the gay privilege.
Correct.
Yes.
And the gay privilege is being born in a democracy or living in one.
Okay.
Because what I said about I would not choose the pill to go straight is in a dictatorship, in most of the world, gay men are murdered routinely. If they're extrajudicially executed by the cops or murdered by a gang on the street, they're not investigated. It's like it's not fun to be gay anywhere in Africa.
Would
okay?
you
It is
take,
not fun.
Would you
It
take
is not
the
good.
pill if you're Iranian?
I'm not Iranian. If
Yeah.
I was living there and in this circumstance, I would try and get out.
Yeah.
I would try and get out. I mean, you're born into a society that where you are told that you're worthless, where you are told that you're better off dead, where you are told that that anything is better than you, that you're a shame on your family, and you're like 9 years old and you know you're different. You're 12 years old and you know you're different, and you're carrying this around with you, the immense amounts of self-hatred. You're trying to fix this, and you don't know how, or even if it's possible. And it was,
It's possible.
it's not
could fix
possible, and it was actually it was I owe the Christian right in America one of the most important moments in my life. I was in the University of Pennsylvania as a student, and I would, of course, occasionally want to read about gay stuff. And I'd have to go to the library, and there were books there, and there was on one of the floors in Van Pelt Library, and they also had a whole bunch of stacks of newspapers of the 700 Club. They used to publish all these things, and there was an interview with one of these ex-gays, with the person who was like their poster guy, and they married him off to a lesbian. And in the interview, he talked about how Jesus saved him, and how he is now straight. And there was when he was asked a question, if you could answer this, are you ever tempted by Satan? Does Satan tempt you? And he says, well, yes, we will occasionally be walking down the street and there may be a very good-looking man, and I will look over and Satan is tempting me at that moment. And I'm reading this going, fuck. Even with the even with God Almighty involved, this is not changeable. This is it. So it's like, okay, how am I going to deal with it now? That was really, really interesting because I mean, I'm talking about the 90s here. The conversation about being gay in the 90s was very different to what it is today, and people take it for granted. A lot of gay people take it for granted. They think that where we are now is like normal, like the air. It's kind of like the conversation about civil liberties. It's you're only a few years away from it.
Always.
Did you? I don't know if you know this statistic, but there were more gay bars in Berlin in 1928 than in San Francisco in 1988.
Wow.
Are you saying
1928. What I'm saying, no, what I'm saying is
within
within 10 years in the rise of the Nazis, a place as liberal as Germany, which had a gay pride parade in the 1920s, and you can completely reverse it and end up in a concentration camp and being killed for who you choose to love. And you know, I mean, I don't want to go into the politics of all the others in the LGBTQ movement and all the LGBTQ and all the various other iterations of and how it's been politicized, and people want to use it to either, you know, they're militant against the family or militant against the nuclear family or anti-heterosexual, and that's definitely not something I buy into at all. And I think it's, you know, LG is great. LG is great.
B is fake.
And B is fair, and we can have a discussion.
No, B is fake.
But everything else is just like, what? This is political.
B
This
is
is
greed.
and this is very, very you know, controversial to say, but it's a lot of it has become so politicized. And if you don't buy into all of it, then you're going to be expelled. And you know, I experienced this. I remember a couple times on Fire Island, people would listen to my views on the Second Amendment, and people would be like, "Wait, what? This guy believes that in the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution?" It's like, what are you even doing at this party? Kind of thing. And it's like,
Being
wow,
gay.
this is the inclusive. This is the inclusive movement.
a gun.
Okay, this is
Yes.
things have changed a lot in the last few years, and a lot of gays are talking about their politics, and it's not so much of a monoculture anymore. But the idea that you get this song sheet and you have to buy into it completely, and it's the same with ethnic minorities, where it's like,
Same
if
thing,
you
yeah.
are this, then you have got to buy all of this.
There is,
In
this
full.
is our 10th anniversary issue.
And it's gotten very serious.
It's gotten serious, but
Particularly
also
when he talked about the interview he read with Lindsey Graham in the library. That was when it got very serious.
Yeah, I do not
Continue.
believe for an instant that Lindsey Graham is gay.
I
You
don't
can
either.
keep
You don't
him.
think
He's
so?
not one of us. You can keep
What?
him.
He's not one of
No,
us.
I don't believe it. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I
He's
think
just
it's
a
all
little
bullshit.
effeminate.
In the same way that people said that Richard Gere and all this other stuff. There's just
Well,
so
Richard
many
Gere is
people. It's like,
different.
A little different.
just stop.
A
Just
lot of
stop.
girlfriends
Stop.
and
Stop.
wives
You
and
can't.
kids.
You can't.
Yeah,
Wait.
Lindsay.
If you have a secret life and you are in politics, people will eventually out you, and they will come forward and they will
TMZ
talk about
has
it.
gotten to Washington. You
This
saw
is
that
what I
stuff
mean.
just
This
opened
is
up
what
in
happened
office.
with the former congressman who. But I just don't believe it about Lindsey Graham. I think it's just people who just don't want to have an argument, and so they go that way. Oh, he's a fag.
Who was the muscly Republican
guy.
Yeah. What's that guy's name?
He was.
What-
He's ended up in.
I'm not
he
Michelangelo
ended up as a
Signorelli,
PR agent for Nicolas Maduro.
Yeah, that's why I was going
so,
to bring it up.
yeah.
Anyway, we got a question here, and this is for everybody. This is Yao Ming. Yao Mang, actually.
Mang.
No, what about above Yao Ming? What about above Yao Ming?
Yeah, that we were going to skip.
All right, Thor. Thank you, Jack.
Well,
really appreciate
yeah,
it.
Jack did that for free. Yao Ming paid $1.99 for this. Who wins in a fight, Bernie versus Finkelstein? Matt, I say who wins is Hamas, but who do you say?
I don't know. I think Bernie. Ultimately.
Yeah, but I think Finkelstein's always stayed in Brooklyn. Bernie's lived in Vermont for like 50 years.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
Right?
I would
he's
go with
got this
Finkelstein.
Vermont kind of like hedgehog, like country guy in Burlington.
Yeah,
tendencies.
he used to love guns, though.
Right, yeah,
I bet Finkelstein loves guns, too.
I just think that Bernie would fight dirty.
Yeah, he
He
could
would
bite.
like he'd bite. He'd like squeeze his balls or something.
Yeah,
Like
and he
he'd-
was- and
he'd
like-
poke some eyes.
He did go and have his honeymoon in the Soviet Union. So I'm sure he has
Who
some
among us?
KGB training or something.
on.
But yeah, it's a good question. I would say that I'm going to go with Fink. Mostly because he just said something that I agreed with for the first time ever.
Should we kiss Thor
We got to kiss Thor,
sumptuously on the lips? And Maximilian, more
Well, you have to
importantly,
say goodbye to Maximilian.
Thank you, Maximilian.
Thank you. For all of-
Maximilian?
for everything
fantastic
you've done.
work.
Thank you,
Okay.
Thor.
It's been a pleasure,
For
gentlemen.
America.
Our
Um,
audience
to see you,
loves
brother.
you. You're properly the
And
pole
I,
position.
I love your audience.
Oh,
Very nice comments.
Except a couple of the haters.
There are a lot of haters.
But you know
There are
what?
a lot of haters.
I feed on the energy the haters give me.
I don't. I'm shocked by the
you're-
nasty things that people say. And I have to restrain myself from responding to them in mean ways.
go.
And I don't. All right.
it is.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hello, sir.
the Spin Doctors. That's a Matt joke, by the way.
okay.
Yeah.
Buy me
Yeah.
flowers.
Three Princes.
Is that the same?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the same
See, look,
one.
I nailed that one.
Yeah.
I've learned about so many great musical artists from before I was born. This
Yeah,
is like
but what
fantastic.
the fuck, Peter? Like
What do you mean, what the fuck?
What has happened?
Do you know how much money you can make panhandling
Yeah,
down
I know.
on
Well,
the street?
Apparently, yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're well groomed.
Is your wife okay with
Right.
this post-Congress collapse?
To date, yes. She is the limiting factor, and I've told her that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you are going to be the one that.
Do you remember Al Gore lost and he grew a beard?
I know.
You
look good.
He looked good.
You look good.
You lost and you started doing meth or something. I don't know what the hell's happening there.
My teeth are all still
man.
here.
Yeah, Peter, yeah, well.
I went to
yeah.
the dentist for the first time in
Yeah.
a couple of years. No
Yeah.
cavities.
Okay.
Just saying. Another
Well,
reason.
thank you for joining us,
My
Peter.
pleasure.
Is this one
Congratulations
mine?
on the 10-year
Thank you so much.
anniversary.
Does anyone here remember?
How did you get a cocktail?
I texted
and
my
we
daughter.
did-
I'm not joking.
Can I text you too?
Yeah.
Olivia, get
Do we
me-
remember?
legal? Can you do that?
No, it's not.
Well, we're not selling them.
She's not mixing it. She's just.
yeah.
Does
shepherding.
anyone remember how we became friendly with Peter? Matt,
Well,
do you?
I mean, we had him on right after January 6th because he just got sworn in.
No, he was on a second Sunday or on something where you chimed in, and I said, "He's not. That's not. He's not a congressman.
But was
He
that,
wouldn't be on this."
Was that
This may have been prior to January 6th, actually.
It was prior to January
Yeah,
6th,
yeah.
but you had chimed in, and we said, like, "Oh, Peter." In the second you chimed in, I said he's going to lose. If he goes,
yeah.
if
Hasn't
he's-
even been sworn in. He's already.
Yeah, if he's sworn in. We should call it off. Call off
I
the
mean,
swearing in.
Crenshaw, right?
Crenshaw, he's been. Does everyone who comes on the show lose?
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Yes.
Justin
People
Amash?
start
I mean,
to
if they're
believe
not,
the
if they're in the
curse.
house, yes.
Okay.
Amash
Except
lost
for-
because Meijer got in, so that was kind
Well,
of.
I told
except-
Mike Lawler, do not go in the fifth column. Whatever you do,
Yeah. He didn't.
avoid.
And he didn't.
avoid.
He didn't.
Are you the
more than
problem
once.
with
He's
that?
the problem.
Yeah.
I'm looking out for my friends here, man.
Yeah.
We are your friends.
I know. Well, my friends are
we could
legion.
help him.
Do
We
you
could help
stay
him.
in Mike Lawler's apartments when you come
No.
into?
Okay. fine.
Did you? Yeah. You need an apartment?
Not yet.
Amazing. Did you get the hint when Mike Lawler didn't show up and we gave a hint, and it was even in the title of the episode, of who bailed on us? Do you remember?
They don't care about.
They don't care about us. Yeah. And
It was a Michael Jackson thing.
correct.
I believe.
And there was some, no one, because he likes him so much that he's burning corks in the basement.
That's okay. It's called commitment, and
It's commitment.
I'll allow it. Yeah.
To abruptly transition away
No.
from that.
I got one more thing to say about Mike Lawler, which is very positive, is that I thought that was one of the most hilarious excuses for doing blackface. And then I read in a piece, true, and I double checked, this is true, that it was in the Daily Beast, unimpeachable source that I used to work for. And he, when he was in high school, went to the Michael Jackson trial in LA and was sitting in the gallery as a high school student. Wow. And I was like, put blackface on that man, he's allowed.
That's actually pretty awesome.
That's like crazy. Like, yeah.
That's serious
Yeah, and I
commitment.
agree with him too on the read that Michael was innocent. I do. I truly
talked
believe
about
that.
this.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't
before
talk to me
Peter
about
Meijer gets back into politics, was Michael Jackson innocent? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
yeah, and
weigh
then,
in.
and then do OJ.
Don't
The amount of
dodge.
investment I have in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm that in sports, like just trials of the century in
Was
general.
Gerald Ford right to pardon Richard Nixon?
Yeah.
Gerald Ford
Oh.
from Grand Rapids, where the
From
Gerald
Grand
Ford
Rapids, the
Yeah.
museum.
I held his
is.
casket
Yeah.
Did you
He
really?
held his casket.
briefly. Well,
When
that's a
until his
different-
family said, "Who the fuck are you?"
No, I was
Who's this long-haired ginger?
I was a West Point cadet at the time for his funeral. And so I was when our families were close, kind of going back in the day and all this.
Yeah.
And I was in my dress uniform with cotton gloves, white cotton gloves. and they were moving his casket from either the bier to the catafalque or the catafalque to the bier. These are like presidential funeral terms. And
From the catafalque
catafalque
to the beer.
to the bier, because one is for the funeral, the other's for the viewing, and I
Okay.
forget which is which.
Yeah.
But it's moved by all these like Marine and Air Force and you have military members who practice doing this.
Yeah.
Because it's a lead line casket. It weighs like 800 pounds. It's very, very heavy. And then it was some museum staff who were shifting it, and the
They
museum
don't let
staff.
you have like grippy gloves.
Well, no, I was not doing this. I was sitting there because I'd
Oh.
escorted President and Lady Carter and the First Lady. And yeah, they started to lose their traction on the casket. And I was like, ran over there and did that. And I was like, oh, fuck.
You saved
like,
his life.
But I'm about to get crushed to death by a casket, and I'm wearing white cotton gloves that have zero traction. So, anyways, that was
So
Wow.
this
that was
is
like
your Rick
4
Monday
minutes.
saving the American flag in center field moment.
Yeah, it was 4 minutes of I immediately regret this decision, and this is
Wow.
not a good obituary headline.
No, actually, it would have been a hilarious obituary headline.
but you
Peter
don't
Meyer
want
killed
not
by
at the
dead
age of
president.
19. Not at the age of 19. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
These white
the reverse
gloves-
squeaky frog.
West Point
These
cadet
white gloves
crushed.
have grip on them?
No, absolutely not, because they're
So
not
white
intended.
cotton gloves.
Yeah, it's dress. It is literally the epitome of ceremonial. Like there is no. You're just supposed to look good.
Yeah. But the other
No
people
function.
weren't wearing the white cotton gloves.
No.
You were just you were just heroic, is what you're trying
Heroic,
to say.
yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I was,
you're
I was
trying
sa-
to- you're
saving
trying
myself
to-
to save the legacy of
Yeah.
While
yeah.
dodging the
body of a
Yes.
former.
again.
Well, dodging the question again.
Are you going to run
Yeah.
again? Are you
No.
going to? Are you sure?
Yeah,
Really?
For
the
nothing?
hair. That's the hair.
No, I know it's
hair.
great.
Hair.
That's great. It's just
Um,
like we want to make
wait,
sure that you're not going to run for anything.
Hold on, I got a bone to pick though.
Oh, let's
Okay,
go.
You've
what?
talked several times about lost episodes,
Yes.
and one of the lost episodes you reference that everyone was too drunk,
Yes.
and this is
Thank you so
where
much.
You were on one of those, I think.
the post debate one. That was with me.
Oh, that was right.
That was with me.
Oh,
And you were all too shit-faced to remember that
No,
one.
no, Matt.
It was
Matt
Matt.
was.
It
It
was
was really Matt.
Yeah.
It was
So
Matt. I mean, I was fine. I was editing it, and I was like, I could just do it like me and Peter, like a Stalin
I'm
photo.
just saying the
where
erasure
commissar
from that.
vanishes.
Peter
Yeah.
wasn't sober.
No,
I would
we're
not describe him as sober.
No,
that
no,
night.
no. He was not sober, but
Like,
you.
we
there was
understood
not a
each other.
single racial epithet that came out of my mouth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not yours.
Not mine.
That
Well, I
Uh,
mean, Camille's, but
What's
wasn't
your
there.
deal,
You were
hater?
not there.
Says Peter. Why the hell have you not been on with all the military topics that you could have weighed in on all this time? I guess that's why you've not been on this show.
it's been on Abby Phillip
You've
instead.
been on Abby Phillip.
He's going there
yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
Drunk.
Oh, yeah?
Because they asked me.
Yes.
So, what are
we,
your...
we try to have people on, military people who have fired their weapon at an enemy.
That's true. That's true.
Not,
I had things blow up in proximity to me, but I
Yeah,
never
yeah.
fired a shot in
Yeah,
anger.
that was a crock pot when you were making a stew in Grand Rapids.
I mean, probably.
Yeah. No, you're heroic. Yeah. You saved Gerald
I
Ford.
do not have a combat action badge, but I do. No, there have been plenty of times where my life has been.
But since you're going to go on and
It's a
talk
gamble.
about Trump tacoing, which you probably will do at 9 o'clock. That's
what they say.
That's what they say. Why don't you give us a rehearsal? What the fuck do you think about this war at this point?
war?
Excursion.
Excursion.
Ford excursion.
Yeah. Yeah.
2002 edition.
Yeah.
6 miles to the gallon.
It'd be great if Gerald Ford did it. It'd be the Ford excursion. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, the U.S. now has its lowest natural gas spot price today that we've had in the past 6 months. Thank you, frackers. Thank you, frackers.
Thank you, frackers. Yeah. We're not pointing to anyone in particular.
Yeah, no.
We're just up to the sky, like, thank you, frackers. Yeah.
Is West Texas Intermediate a little bit high? Sure. But, if you're 70 cents above maybe where gas was before, and you've resulted in the decimation of a Navy that was in many ways comparable to the United Kingdom's Navy, and a
that's
top
not much.
20 world military power that has inflicted hundreds of fatalities on American service members, has been
Thousands. Only hundreds?
destabilizing.
Thousands, for sure. Yeah.
Definitely thousands of casualties. It's similar to Israel's operations against Hezbollah, where it's like, hey, it'd be great to get those guys off the playing field, but at what cost? How much damage can they inflict? And then Israel basically took out Hezbollah, and it's like, oh, like that was actually kind of doable. And to remove the threat from Iran,
Is it
which is not clear
Yeah,
right now.
it's the-
But I mean, if not
Substantially
neutered,
mitigate,
it has been
yeah.
castrated. Like they are equivalent of the Houthis at this point in terms of the instability they can inflict. Whereas before, I mean, my God, like the concern that they could horizontally escalate any conflict up to and including domestic terror attacks in the U.S., creating instability throughout Europe, like the amount of places where it's like, oh, like they just kind of didn't have that much of the dog in them. Okay, good. I'm glad we kind of took them out back. Like Christy
So
Nome.
if it had been from the beginning, like Marco
We're going
Rubio,
to ask you about her husband next week. Go ahead.
as if he doesn't
Yeah.
know.
Who do you
when
think
Mar-
took the photos? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. Why were you catfishing Christy Nome's husband is the follow-up question.
When Rubio comes out 2
Great
days ago,
tips.
it's only been these 4 things that we've been trying to do all along. I'll write it, slow down, and I'll write it down for you, kind of thing. Those goals are the goals that you're talking about. It's sort of like it's a war of opportunity. Let's get rid of the Navy. Let's decimate their ability to extend their
Yeah,
power.
ballistic missiles, proxies.
If Trump had said that instead of saying that, no, we have to change the regime. This person is unacceptable to me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We have to open the Strait of Hormuz, which is now no longer really part of it. We'll see what happens at 9 o'clock.
Let's argue how much of that is our problem. Again, thank you,
it's-
frackers.
It's it's NATO's problem somehow. It's not our problem anymore. So if he had messaged that from the beginning, would this be like an unambiguous win?
No, not. I mean, because if you're talking about the unambiguous win, implicitly that's tying into the domestic polling, the domestic policy question.
But also like the democratic legitimacy of going to war, which is not an insignificant thing, I think.
Sure, and this is where I'm very much of two minds, because on the one hand, I have very strong beliefs about Congress's role. On the other hand, to date, the Trump administration has abided by the War Powers Resolution, and they have done the notifications. I would have vastly preferred there was an authorization for the use of military force. That has also not been the precedent. So I can be I can strongly dislike the precedent that's been set without trying to pretend like what we're doing right now is not in keeping with how presidents of both parties have acted over the
He's
past
doing
3
the Libya
decades.
precedent for sure.
It's at a greater scale. There's been more loss of U.S. life, but also from a actual danger and threat to the United States standpoint, it was 10 times more evident. Libya in 2014 or 2011 versus Libya in the 80s, which is a different question. Sorry, you had a couple more questions that were embedded in there.
It's really just kind of one, but like just if those goals were the goals at the beginning.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I mean, I think part of this on the Trump administration's behalf is like, let's see what happens. Like we have degrees of control. The amount of ways in which this can spiral outside of our ability to constrain it is relatively bounded. And you're going to go into something not knowing or having a sense of what is like our minimal satisfactory outcome. And then there's also some maximal opportunities that, like, by God, if you can do it, great. But a lot of that's going to come down to the fact, and this is where I have both a lot of sympathy for the Trump administration's approach on this, and I think it's the smart way to do it, is not feeling like you're bounded by a set of, hey, we said we would achieve A, B, and C, and so we're going to go, and until A, B, and C are achieved, we're not going to leave. Until we have a perfect Jeffersonian democracy in that area, our troops are going to be on the ground and we'll be enforcing elections and blah, 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 blah. Like that is part and parcel of the nation building that there's been such a reaction against, is that sense of we are rhetorically bounded by these things that we said, and now we need to stick with it until that happens, or we'll be accused of tacoing. In Trump's case, you can't really say he's chickening out from anything because there's nothing you can actually hold him to. I mean, it's just like we said, we're going to do this and this. But once the administration goes in, once the action starts, the ultimate question is, like, what is irreversible at this point? And are we actually able to leave? Leaving in Iraq and leaving in Afghanistan were incredibly complex logistical maneuvers because we had folks on the ground that we needed to get out. We needed to have agreements. We needed to have, quiet ceasefires. We needed to not get attacked on our way out. Leaving in Iran just means we're stopped doing what we're doing. Like the agency is 100% on the U.S.'s side. Now, the Strait of Hormuz reopening is a different question. an entirely different question. But also, Trump is not wrong when he's saying that the problem that has been created by the Iranians in that component, like they're flailing desperately. This is the only real thing they can do. This is where I'm also putting the tie-in with the Houthis. The one mechanism the Houthis can do is they can close off access to the Red Sea. The one thing that the Iranians can do at this point is they can close off the Strait of Hormuz. Like that is definitionally just a sign of weakness and not any sign of fundamental strength.
Did you guys all notice how quiet it got?
Yeah.
In here, like people like.
I think people were waiting for the Kristi Noem question. The one about the husband. Did you know the husband? Do you know her at all? Do you know Kristi Noem at all? Do you know Corey
Sexually?
Lewandowski? What were you doing up
I
there?
know. Listen, it was during COVID. Everyone was distancing and
Unbelievable.
no, but
I thought he looked great, to be honest, but continue, yeah.
no. I mean, this,
Guess nobody else did.
Camille thinks that love wins.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about that. Are we going to talk about that now, or are we still going to talk about it?
I don't really want to talk.
Okay,
about
let's
it.
talk about Iran.
Why do you want
It's
to talk about it?
Iran.
You say
I
you're
want to talk
running
about
for anything.
I want to talk about Iran. I want to talk about Iran.
No, I just have nothing to input on.
Well, did you think he looked hot?
Oh my god.
Like ish.
So Camille, you're asking
Yeah,
about Iran.
I mean,
So we
that's a
degrade-
yes,
yeah.
by the way.
We
That doesn't
degrade
wanna
their
answer the yeah.
conventional military capabilities.
Very much, yeah.
We find out that they've got rocketry that can travel a bit further than we suspected.
Mhm.
But
And further
they
than they
not?
led on to,
Yeah.
which was part and parcel of like the JCPOA and
Correct.
the understanding of the risk that was posed.
But if Trump pulls out tonight,
Mhm.
and it is a kind of tail between your legs situation in some regard, you've accomplished some things, but there's clearly other things that, at least when we were under the Rubio doctrine about a week ago, when they said, no, we've got to open the strait, they're not doing that anymore. It seems, maybe. We'll find out in a couple of minutes.
There's a 48-hour
Um,
deadline on March 21st.
Yeah, which got turned into a week and then went
always does,
further.
yeah.
This, again, none of it makes him look particularly, none of those things at least make him look particularly tough. And it certainly doesn't make it seem like, oh, he'll be back tomorrow if we start to act up again. Like, are they not going to be more belligerent, motivated, even if they can't project power in some of those other ways? What we've seen is a real willingness to use these low-cost, potentially high-impact drones and other kinds of munitions against civilian targets in neighboring countries. The possibility of orchestrating some sort of terror attack in the United States, they're certainly more motivated than they were before to do something like that. They know,
And they
that
have done
domestically
that
there
in the
isn't an
past.
appetite.
They
Yeah.
have done that in the
Yes,
past. I mean,
and
this
I'm-
is not like a hypothetical.
I
like,
think
what could
you've
they
made.
do?
I think you've made as good a case as could be made to justify what's happened there, and to suggest that maybe this is a good thing on net. And I've tried to make a similar case, not as good. But we have to acknowledge, it seems, that there is a way in which there is greater peril. Like when they release the laundry list of American companies that they plan to go after, and we know that they have at least some sort of cyber capability, but again, you can pair the cyber capability with a relentless willingness to just send humans after your various bits of infrastructure anywhere in the world and do bad, and do it more openly, more defiantly. And that's probably on net something of a negative.
But they've also been doing that. Now, to your point, they haven't been doing that in a
Yeah.
completely unbounded
Yeah.
way, right? And maybe it's been kind of half-assed, like the plot to assassinate, I think it was the Saudi and maybe also Emirati ambassadors in New York, in D.C. I don't know how, I mean, it seemed to be a very half-assed plot to assassinate Trump by the Iranians. So maybe they go from like a half-assed plot to a whole-ass plot. And that, that becomes more of a threat. But it's also more of the. So why were we doing this in the past? If this is what not only they were, if I don't buy the argument that we should do nothing because they're not trying their hardest and we don't want them to try hard. If anything, it's like you are evidencing the threat. The fact that they're unleashing and just wantonly attacking civilian targets up to and including, I mean, the Qataris and the Omanis were their negotiating partners.
Yeah.
We're very much
Yeah.
on the side of this. And now if the U.S. leaves, it's not like, oh, you know, Iran's just going to be left alone. It's like the Saudis and the Emiratis are chomping at the fucking bit right now. because if they didn't believe, I mean, they believed Iran was a threat, but to your point, in sort of the nebulous way, don't antagonize them. We need to check they're a competitive, challenge against us. And now it's fuck those guys. Like they're launching cruise missiles at like the Burj, like at our hotels. Like what in the God's name is going on? This entire conflict has exposed the irrationality, the sort of the wanton recklessness of the Iranian government in ways that before was just like rhetorical and maybe some people agreed, and now it's like, no, they're a threat to the region.
There's also the idea that they would turn it up to 10, which they are rational actors. They understood if they turn it up to 10, they noticed this in the past too. These are sort of very deadly pinpricks that they don't keep doing one after another. They don't do what happens in Argentina in, I guess, 93, where they kill 85 people. They don't do the next one a week later and the next one a week later. That's going to end in disaster for them. And the same thing is true with their sometimes allies in the region. I mean, they're sending a message that they're not, there's not a drone every, a swarm of drones every day to the UAE that are blowing up all the hotels, because they know that there's a tipping point in that. It's not as if, the more that we do, they're going to ratchet it up. For them, there's a balance in this, there always has been, in the kind of terror balance with Iran, was that you don't want to push them too hard because they'll respond. The thing is that we never have, in this unbelievable degrading of their capabilities, as Peter points out, is a great long-term victory in one isolated way. There's other knock-on effects that are bad, but that is, we shouldn't sleep on how great of a victory that is.
I will acknowledge it.
Where's the ceiling? Because that's the question. I would argue the ceiling has lowered dramatically from if they had, let's call it 10,000 ballistic missiles, and now they're under 1,000. Does that mean they're not a threat? No, they could still inflict damage.
Remember the Hezbollah numbers? It was like, and the Israelis have taken care of a lot of that, was that how many times was it X number of thousands of missiles? It's 100,000. It's going to be a rain of fire. That hasn't happened, and their leadership has been destroyed. The Israelis are now back to, 2000, when the South Lebanon army pulled out of they're back into Lebanon. This is
still stopping at Litani.
It's not like it was in the past, but this has been a series of victories that, because people don't like things from the lack of authorization on one end, the like unforeseen consequences, like Iraq style, that people are very reticent about saying anything. But there are, let's be honest, been incredible victories in a military way. And people say, oh, it's for Israel. Yes, well, Israel's, right there. So therefore, but for the United States too. I mean, this is clearly, in the long run, is this going to be a good thing? Obviously, that's
do the Western alliances, do they recover from this?
Trump tonight is going to make some noises about NATO in a pretty.
You think so? In a conciliatory way or what?
No, opposite. No,
this turns out he loves the North American trade.
Love the alliance. Yeah,
North Atlantic.
I like Atlantic too.
We had to go to war for 5 weeks in order to break NATO. I think that is going to be part of the potential legacy of this war.
Very odd when he says, what has NATO ever done for us? And it's like, well, there was 9/11. NATO was there after 9/11. Afghanistan, et cetera. Even people outside in Partnership for Peace countries, my former brother-in-law, amazing, lovely guy, high-ranking now in the Navy in Sweden, was in Afghanistan for, 3 years, doing naval intelligence for the Swedes in like 2004. I don't know what they were really doing.
But they weren't a part of NATO.
Navy do in Afghanistan?
I don't know what he does, but he's in the Navy. He was in naval intelligence.
Sweden joined NATO in 2023.
Thank you, Vladimir Putin. Finland and Sweden. And these are things, and that was a thing that was never going to happen in Sweden. It was one of the most contentious debates. NATO wouldn't happen. The left and even the center and the center right were entirely opposed to it. And then that changed overnight. These powers have pushed themselves too far. We gave the Russians, carte blanche in Chechnya twice, right? In Georgia, in Abkhazia and South Ossetia.
We gave carte blanche. We didn't. Well, forcefully counteract.
Forcefully counteract. The Russians
doing
also
something within their.
But they also internalized 56 in Hungary and 68 Also in Afghanistan in '79, there is a series of America's, what the fuck are you going to do? So there is the thing about Trump is that he's unhinged enough that they are actually afraid that something else will happen, right? And that is a huge kind of psychological change on the world stage. Is it a good thing? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure
certainly-
that Russia is as scared of what's Trump going to do next. I don't have that.
Well,
I think
mean,
Russia-
there's
Russia's-
a mixed result. In
No,
that, I think.
Russia's getting rhetorically coddled by this administration towards the strategic end of trying to drive a wedge in the Sino-Russian alliance.
Yeah.
And I may not love how that manifests itself in the war in Ukraine, but if that prevents a war over Taiwan, I will be very happy.
Yeah.
Has this been a win? This conflict been a win for Ukraine as well? I mean, has the administration perhaps drawn somewhat closer to Ukraine for being willing to
I don't see
support
any-
various
I
people?
know.
in the region? I
Any
haven't seen
evidence
any
of
clear
that.
evidence of it.
I mean,
No.
we're like, you're about to see the vice president of the United States go to Hungary to campaign for Viktor Orban, who Marco Rubio described as being like, if he wins, we win.
At least they
and-
won't stage an assassination
And
attempt.
and Orban's running against Zelensky.
Hmm.
That's his campaign.
Correct.
His campaign is Zelensky
100%.
and all these other horrible people are like trying to come after me. And so no, that's not.
But the Russians have also been backing Iran, which was not as much of a problem for the Emiratis, for the Saudis, for all the countries in Iraq getting bombed, was less of a problem for them prior to this conflict because it's in the background.
Yeah, it's in the background. Yeah.
And we may not be raising the hackles about the Russians providing targeting information to the Iranians, but I think Zelensky just had his first visit to the region since Russia invaded in this past
And
week.
came out with a pretty fat contract, right? Which
So-
is pretty interesting.
So this is also where, like, if you center the U.S. in all of this, like,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
obviously an important part of it, but we're not
Correct.
the only part of it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So
Should we get to some
we have some,
paying questions?
And
We
what
have
are we
some?
going to watch Trump at 9? What are we going to do?
Fuck him. He's,
It's 8:15.
it's 8:15. We'll see.
he'll be 10 minutes late.
Do we have any?
We have listeners here who will be watching at the same time and telling us what's happened, I'm
Do
sure.
we have any ding ding dings?
Do we
for,
have some
Meijer?
dings? We had a Meijer. There was a Meijer one. Did that disappear? It disappeared? Did they take their money back?
No, we get to.
I
keep
saw
that.
$9.99 on that.
Yeah, it's
one.
not. Yeah. That's what you're
you don't
worth
get-
$9.99. Yeah, what happened to
Yeah.
Peter Meijer?
Well,
Question.
Self-evident, but
That's we know that. That's Andrew
We
Heaton.
know.
And I have to say that someone beneath this said the ads are based on your viewing history.
settings,
No.
privacy, clear cookies.
Yeah. Aren't ads algorithmic based on your viewing history too, Andrew Heaton?
Incognito mode. Learn it, love it.
Incognito mode. Yeah, use a different name, Andrew. We love you, but
Everyone's telling Andrew this. This
yeah,
is great.
everyone's saying that he can't get it. That's fine.
Pretty sure that was a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was it?
Yeah.
Ads loud, mics quiet. I guess that was we need our mics louder.
Okay.
We had somebody asking a question, but we'll forget the questions
Yeah.
for the moment. You don't,
So-
they don't have to pay. If you have a good one, Jason, pull up a good one too,
Okay.
even for free.
Well, we could talk about Christy Noem's husband.
Yeah, that was great. What do you think about Christy Noem in general? Not her husband's enormous Jane Mansfield-like physique.
No, Jane Mansfield is way more missile tits, I think.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Why is it with them?
The women?
No, the guys who do this. Do you remember the person in Canada, the shop teacher? Does anyone remember this? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Olivia
Swords
Reingold.
into
Olivia
plowshares,
Reingold was upset.
missiles.
Get ready, Olivia's coming. She's like, oh shit, shop teacher.
She's got her Brezhnev glasses. She's ready to go.
Yeah. Roy Orbison over here is like, I got some tea on that. That was the shop teacher who was coming
Oh right.
with the enormous, like it was.
No,
yeah,
it's
like
Lunga,
really,
the Lunga.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always so exaggerated. It
Yeah.
can't be like
that's the
you know, a
thing.
B cup or something.
Yeah, that's his thing. That's his thing.
Was that sincere? Like it seemed
I
too
think that was-
trolly.
No, I think
No,
that
it was real.
Yeah.
It was
Sustained
real.
it for a very long time.
But that was before the fifth column destroyed woke.
Yeah,
That's
sure,
what we did.
sure.
10 years it took us.
We broke
But that was when the Canadian principal was like, "Oh no, you gotta keep it. Oh, it's fine, right? You got big tits, right?" And the teacher said, like, "No, I am this person all the time. It has nothing to do with students. I am not sexualized." And then like a day later, it was like a guy who looked like you with like the Kenny Rogers / Loggins beard at like a Home Depot, at like a Canadian Tire, like normal, like buying, like asphalt or something. And then the next day is in I don't get it, and I'm fine with it. I'm fine. Let Christine Ohm's husband have enormous tits. I mean, that's fine.
This is.
Do you agree? You're not
Say
running.
yes.
If you're not going to run again, just talk about.
say
I
yes.
do
Christine
not
Ohm's
have
husband's
a
tits.
cogent, well-formed
Wait,
opinion on
wait,
any
Wait,
of
I,
this.
I do.
Even 10 years of non-cogent.
I do.
I will say there are some
do. Give me those
incredibly
guys.
intelligent members of the Trump administration that I talk to on occasion about matters of policy and minerals and I'm just like, holy shit, if the American people could see the brilliant folks who are doing this, they would feel so relieved about the policy going on. And then I
Who's
see
the most brilliant?
and then I see other things and I'm just like, but that's the clip I'm reacting to on CNN tonight.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, he's talking about tonight?
yeah.
Are you going to be on
Oh no,
tonight?
Trump's gonna be
Yeah, but you think they'll get to the Christine Ohm thing?
I think right after Trump's.
Yeah.
remarks.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what the Iran.
Yeah.
I hope the Iran. Selfishly, I hope it's like substantive.
Maybe
So
Donald
we
Trump
can
only
do
talks about Christine
But
Ohm's
by the
husband.
way,
3 segments.
you think it's substantive, but keep in mind that the administration did one of the greatest ops ever by saying that the Ayatollah's son was gay, and like Trump was telling us, "That's what I hear. I hear he's very gay. He's very gay."
Tough in that country.
Which
It's
he
very
doesn't have a
tough.
problem with.
He
They
said,
might.
they throw him
he
out
doesn't. they
buildings.
might.
They throw him out, but he's not Thor. Thor's gay. But he lives in America, very free, very free. That was the best CIA thing. It's like, let's just say he's gay.
Well, look, here's the thing with Christine Ohm's husband.
Here we go.
All right,
Here we go.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Here we go. Everybody back.
I just think the word of the day ought to be empathy.
Oh, for God's
I read
Unbelievable.
the story. I read the story, and I just want just
You
try
are not
to
alone.
put yourself in this man's
Ladies.
quadruple D cups. Just think
Yeah.
about this for a
Yeah.
moment. This is a man who is paying tens of thousands of dollars to strangers just so he
Do we
can
know
feel
that?
seen and loved. Yes, he's paying the OnlyFans ladies, and he's paying them, and he's saying in the messages, "I don't want to do this. I love my wife," and then he will disappear for weeks, months, and then he comes back, and he's giving them thousands of dollars again. They eventually discover who he is and start corresponding with him. Why are you doing this? You're going to destroy your wife's political career. Oh, by the way,
think
isn't
she
your
was
wife
doing a bit of
isn't
that
your
herself.
wife having an affair with Corey Lewandowski? To which he responds, "There's nothing I can do about that."
Yeah.
This is a broken man,
Yeah.
overwhelmed by his desire, his need
Preacher.
to dress like a woman with huge, massive, enormous breasts.
You see how he
And
Yes.
and he's
Yeah.
so sad and lonely that he is giving tens of thousands of dollars to strangers. How can we not weep for a man like that who is now being shamed mercilessly around the world? It is a travesty. It is sad. And I am a little heartbroken for that man, even if I can't understand why he wants to look that way. I just think it's wrong.
Brother.
I just think it's wrong
I think that's beautiful.
not to have a little empathy. Thank you,
I
Matt.
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Peter.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
You're heartless.
Mike was like, "Where's the
He's
goalie
married.
fights? There's goalie fights somewhere." There's one last night, right?
He married the woman
Yeah.
he loved, and she left him for Corey
Yeah.
Lewandowski.
Let
You
the Massachusetts
what
bubble
would
up
you
from
do?
within.
Yeah, well, that's Corey Lewandowski. He's like, "You see a fucking husband? He's got big tits. What are you doing? Fucking hang out with me. Let's do some contracts." I bet it was some of that money that has gone missing. That was the whole hearing that Christine Ohm, and
Yes,
it's through
yes.
these shell companies. And
Yeah,
what was
and
the
the
final?
ads. Yeah.
It was like $250 million for these ads. And I have to say, you did have some clever colleagues on the Hill, and there was somebody who I think got the name wrong. Like, remember when Fritz Hollings was trying to say Beavis and Butthead? Do you remember this? Fritz Hollings, back in the day, he said, "They are having all this conversation about beaver and buff coat. He said beaver and buff coat. And there was one where someone said to
Snoop Diggity Dog. I
Chrissy,
remember
yeah,
one.
that was a good one.
Yeah.
And Chrissy Nome, there was like, this is as big of a budget as the one with the 60s radical movie with, the hell was it called? What was it called? Yeah.
One
Yeah,
Battle
yeah,
Left.
yeah. And
Is
there
that
was
right?
somebody was just like, this is bigger than the budget of 2 battles after the third. Millions of dollars. Yeah. And it was like,
It's the
fucking-
sequel.
It's the sequel. Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
And it was it was actually a very good, I was like, yeah, that
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah.
For this ad when she's riding on a horseback. And what was that?
Dog.
That was the dog.
Dog.
What's the dog's name? Mozart?
Well, it's
Maximilian.
Maximilian, but then it could also be.
Mozart.
It could actually have been Thor.
Trump did not invent Kofifi. Like the idea of the the incorrect thing that like, oh, he said this thing. Oh, like, oh, you're talking about the thing that I said to draw more attention to the thing that I said and make the point that I wanted to make.
But I think, maybe that's where the money went. I mean, where are they getting all this money? Spend thousands of dollars on a.
National TV ads are really fucking expensive.
No,
says
they
the
were
former
not.
political
They were on
candidate.
New York One.
No.
It was like in the
That's
morning.
expensive, too.
They were like, poodle contest out in Kew Gardens, and then it was
Christino.
it was
Riding on a
Christino on a fucking horse, and I was like, what? I like the one of
This is an expensive media market.
Corey
but
Lewis
all right.
behind her.
But you could have had a fucking Super Bowl ad for that, and they didn't do it.
That runs one time for 30 seconds
Yeah,
and
but
not
that's more
every day in
effective.
the morning for
Every-
several weeks.
To 40 people that watched New York One in the morning. The point is that it was pointed out that the company, the Shell company, was founded like 3 days before
Yeah.
the competitive bid. So there's a lot of crooked stuff there. But he shouldn't have married her. That's my point.
The most incredible thing about Christy Nome is that she exposes Donald Trump. The fact that Donald Trump has totally lost the step, because he used to be like, you're fired. He gave her a new job.
I mean,
He set her up with a new job, and she's out there still hanging out with Corey in public.
Yeah,
in
well, in, like,
diplomatic
Colombia, yeah.
contexts.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I mean, did you see
What is he?
those
What
images?
does she have on him?
Nothing. It doesn't have anything on. Like, it's what. Look, she's dating Corey Lewandowski, and now we know why, because of the Daily Mail.
That's.
I mean,
think
did
she
you have
might
more
broke her
sympathy?
husband. We don't know.
Did you have more sympathy for her after you saw those photos?
No, I think she probably broke her husband, who said,
Wow.
"I love
I
her."
have had so many terrible girlfriends. I've never said I got to put on a huge pair of tits and pay some OnlyFans girl.
Day's not over, man.
I-
Day's
Yeah.
not
No,
over.
the months isn't
You've never
over.
really had your
Yeah,
heart broken.
yeah,
so-
I mean,
yeah.
what's the
That's what it
price?
is.
It's April 1st. I just got paid.
Did you get some
It's the beginning of the month. First
tickle
of the
bitties on
month.
Moynihan?
Wake up, wake up. All right. Anyway, we got to get Peter over
Peter's gotta go to
Abby,
CNN.
Abby Phillips.
God
Yeah.
bless you, Peter.
Philip.
Have fun,
Gentlemen,
Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks for being a great
10
guest
years.
always.
Ah.
And a,
Here's
and
to your
and a
livers
good
making
friend
another
and a
10.
Great pal. We love Peter Meyer. Thank you, Peter. And I'll clap for Peter. How about that?
Thank you,
Yeah,
Peter.
clap for Peter. Clap for
Yes.
Peter. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Peter Meyer. How do you spell that name?
He's back.
That's no.
No,
That's
no,
every
no,
black
no.
person with an afro is Prince to you?
Wow.
Wow.
He's
Okay,
wearing.
stop.
He's wearing purple.
He's
Yeah.
in Michigan.
He's wearing
All right,
purple. That's
all
fair. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Also a little racist.
Get that unbelievable racist out of here.
How are you?
Oh.
That's a
Oh.
fetching
Big
hoodie.
applause.
Olivia.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Olivia
Aw.
Reingold.
Hello.
Hi.
baby.
I was thinking that I feel like Douglas Murray, like when he went on Joe Rogan, where he just clearly had been waiting for that interview
Yeah,
for
yeah.
so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
And
You've been
then,
waiting.
and then he became indignant.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's how
wow.
I feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I-
Why? Tell us why.
Check your text, bro. Like, check your text. I have been like, when can
So
I come
if I
on?
block you, does it still look like it goes through? Because
It's going through. It's blue. It's blue.
Wow.
And you're responding sometimes, but not to those ones. So
yeah. No.
Which
it's
one?
hateful. Like
No,
it's
I'm
just
not.
it is
Yeah.
hateful and
Wow.
yeah.
When I'm feeling alone, like Christine Holmes' husband, when I say this is what's happened to me in my life, she's there for me.
Did you hear the appeal I made on his behalf?
I did. And I think that as a woman, I understand the impulse. Like when your life is not going right, sometimes you think, can I just get a banging bod going
Yeah,
on, and then
yeah.
you know, will
When
that
you go
make
to
But I
sense?
think those were like soccer balls.
But
They were not
I don't know if
soccer
that
balls.
was what they were like.
There's,
what were-
there's
Wait,
something
also,
else.
what
What
was
is a
up-
larger ball?
what was up with the face? The face was like not good. The face was like, like what was
He doesn't
that?
know. He doesn't know.
It was like your face is in the photo.
You know
Like,
why I am sorry that I didn't respond to those texts?
Yeah.
Because for a minute we became an empathy podcast, and you're
No,
a
and
horrible
I actually
monster.
have a
And I'm so happy that you're here. You're like, what is up with that ugly face? I'm like, thank God, thank God.
Okay,
we have
but
someone
I
here.
have a question for you because you, okay, in having empathy,
Yeah.
we're admitting that it's fucking weird
Yeah, yeah.
and undesirable. So like,
yeah.
it is a form. You agree? Like, it's a kink, and like we don't like it. Like we gotta
don't like it.
condemn it. We
I don't
gotta
like it.
condemn the
But
behavior.
I don't have to
We
condemn
need
it,
people
though.
to suppress
I
that
don't-
Yeah, we
kind
need
of.
to suppress.
Well,
Yeah, in the
well-
closet.
It's not
with
right.
You. Yeah.
It's not right.
I don't want to tell people how to fly
It's
their
not
freak
right.
flags. I don't want to
That's-
do that.
It's not
Value
right.
is subjective, and love always wins. That's how I see
absolutely
it.
right.
And I just
We-
I just want that man to be seen and find his right life partner. And apparently he hadn't done that yet. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I want.
Love
Oh, so
always
that's
wins.
why you're sad, because you're like, you're sad that Christy Nome. So it's really an indictment of Christy Nome, because you're like,
no, I
if
think
you
he's trying-
loved this man,
Wait, are
like
you calling me
he
a
would-
misogynist?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But you're
That's not the
assuming
first
that their
time that's happened
relationship,
here.
there was not love, because it was not reciprocated.
She was publicly humiliating her husband, sleeping
Ah.
around. Again,
That
Did
was
she?
a-
I
that
didn't
was
see
a
the
ru- that was a
response. What was
rumor.
the
That was a
response?
rumor.
Oh, you're right. This is
You don't
Oh.
know if that's
hasn't been
true.
Oh,
confirmed.
if he
It could've just-
actually engaged, if it was just the sexting, or if there was.
Well, the Corey Lewandowski thing, we don't
Oh.
know.
Okay.
For a fact, we know the pictures like with her husband,
You're asking for them, though.
right? And I am, but no one's leaking them to me. Yeah, I don't know about that. Camille,
Yeah.
are the Vision Pros or Olivia's glasses more unwieldy to wear? Says Red Panda Bear 2, not to be confused with the other Red Panda Bear. Red Panda Bear, that is one of the great questions.
$1 question.
I don't know
like
the
your,
vi-
I like your glasses.
Thank
Want
you.
to. And I also
First
have
of
my
all,
Vision Pro in the
ableist.
back. I can go grab it.
Ableist,
Ableist,
right?
yeah.
Because
Where are
like,
they from? What's
Theory
the-
Lasry, my friend. Oh, you know of him?
Yeah.
Based.
So a little bit of that payoff money that came from.
I'm not going to say how I acquired these. Actually,
so you're making
this is
some
becoming
cash
kind
over
of
there
intrusive.
at the
This is
Free
becoming
Press.
intrusive.
Oh, are these ballerific? I don't know.
Are
This
you
is
judging
above
me
my
because they're
pay
not Warby Parker?
No, I'm
Because
not.
I don't have
yeah,
glasses straight from
yeah.
China. Mine
Yeah.
are made by an artisan.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, yours
Yeah.
are made by,
Well, I
by
Yeah,
an
believe
they're
artisan
nice.
in Vietnam.
They're nice. Thanks for
Yeah,
noticing.
Yeah. Was he allowed to unchain himself from the wall when making those to go
I think
like get
I
a
think
drink?
he has someone. I actually think it's. I don't know the situation, but I think it's humane. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
I
think-
do.
you
I
think-
Maybe.
maybe a robot, but I think
Yeah.
an artisan.
I think
So
it's better
are
for
we
there to
okay
be
if we call them
suffering
the Larry
with the
Ellison glasses?
Larry, I haven't seen. Does he wear glasses like these?
No, he pays you a lot of money though.
Oh wow, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. What the connection?
This is why she didn't make the leap to CBS News. Yeah, the 60
busy.
Minutes
I know.
call.
I think she's a
Yeah.
I'm
contributor.
busy right now. I
Yeah,
can't talk.
that's
Actually,
Yeah.
Just love
Anderson left and you stayed where you were. That's what I
the
was hearing.
broken
I'm
neg-
kidding.
No one's
negging
home,
that's
no
happening
one's
between
home.
you is
Um,
fantastic.
yes, things are going well. Next question.
Do you want the next question? Are you sure? Someone paid $5 for this. What is Olivia's issue with John Oliver's critique of her reporting on famine in Gaza?
Oh.
Also, are you still dealing with body image issues? Wow.
Trick.
$5 will get you a
Wait,
lot.
can we go back up?
Let's go to the.
At anonymous 52 H.
Yeah, that's definitely an anonymous question. Yeah. You can take just the last part.
Last part. Actually, I would say I'm feeling quite. As we discussed here,
Yeah.
I'm the owner of these glasses.
Yes.
Things are really looking up for me.
Yeah, and by the way,
Yeah. Oh,
correct.
thank you for noticing. I'm
Correct, yeah.
halfway to blonde.
Yes.
This was part of my actually it was part of my plan to like
Wow.
come back on this show a little bit.
Yeah.
I felt like your personal engagement. You just admitted that the dark hair was. I felt invisible, and I knew I was invisible.
Yeah.
Like I
yeah.
knew it,
You
and
just needed a friend to tell you,
yeah,
and I was happy to be that friend.
Is this
Yeah.
negging? Is that what that is?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
it was.
But
negging.
what do you,
No, it
is it
wasn't
negging
negging, it
if
was
it's
being-
like
no.
scientific? Like he was being a
was science.
scientist
It was
about
science.
it. He was being a
Yeah.
scientist. I knew in my soul.
I was like the Stephen Hawking of your hair. I like rolled over and I was like, no, and rolled back. because it just wasn't good. It just was not. it
Wait,
was
do you guys
not.
think Epstein's Island was like wheelchair accessible?
I think so.
You
'cause
do?
He was there.
Okay.
Well, actually, it turned out that photo because of the great Michael Tracy, who spent 3 years of being a total lunatic and us denouncing him on the show. And then everything he said for like a year, I was like, oh, I like Michael Tracy now.
Yeah.
But he was the one that pointed out that the picture of Stephen Hawking with the two bikini, looked like it was like a Russ Meyer set, but they were his his like
aides,
caretakers.
health aides.
Yeah, and they were at
Oh, it's like a Hooters, like
Didn't he
it,
marry a
but
couple
it's-
of his caretakers though?
What?
I think he did. He was married like 5 times.
Was
or
he
something.
really?
Wow.
He went through a
Wow.
couple. I don't.
Wow,
I'm actually just
empathy for
making
that
stuff
as
up
well.
now.
I
Empathy
know.
for that.
Imagine those
There were a
speak and spell
couple.
arguments. That would have been great.
Wow.
But no, it turned out that it wasn't that it wasn't on Epstein. It was at
Oh, the
some
photo.
Yeah, it was at some.
We're just trying
like,
to clarify a
conference.
reporting issue.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify
correction.
that picture of
Yeah.
him. That was not on Epstein. It was at some
I don't know
conference.
if I've
Okay.
seen this picture.
And he was just there, and he had like a straw.
Don't.
I'm serious.
Stop.
I'm describing the
Don't
picture.
We're
Why is
we're telling you it's inappropriate.
Why?
As your friend,
I'm
we're
literally
trying to tell you it's
like the hair.
inappropriate.
It was like me telling you that.
No, the
No,
hair
but that
was
was like
the hair was
I'm saying he's
important.
innocent.
Yes.
He's
Stephen
innocent.
Hawking.
Yeah.
He was also in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Wait,
he-
but
and he
if
likes
he
strip
were
clubs,
guilty,
which is fine. That's all he.
Yeah.
if
just
he were
likes strip clubs.
guilty, he'd be guilty of just getting it. You know,
Yeah, no,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
Is that a crime?
Apparently, Kmele has no empathy for that.
For what? For
He's
what?
in a wheelchair.
Wait, I just want to know how far this empathy goes. Like,
Exactly.
like, because there's some really like extreme behavior out there. So like empathy, like guys, it's the 10-year anniversary. Like maybe 10 years ago. No, I think it was way more than that. But like 2 girls, 1 cup. Like empathy for them.
Yeah.
Empathy
exactly.
for them. Like
I don't know enough about the circumstance. I certainly never saw that
like
video.
what?
I don't think those girls were loaded. is
Honestly,
what I'm
like
saying.
I need to commission like a firsthand narrative of like whoever that girl was. You know, I need an as told to.
That's
Didn't
you're
one
a
of them
journalist.
become that guy Blippy or whatever?
Who?
That sentence was no
I
good.
don't even
It's
know.
fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm the only one with
with
children under
Questions,
10.
With
It's
fever
fine.
dreams. All right, Olivia,
It's
nice
fine.
glasses.
They know
Screw
what I'm
the
talking about.
haters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just want to start with that. I want to get your take on what's happening in New York with Mayor Mamdani and his fiscal quote solutions. And that's,
Wow.
what's your deal, hater? Again,
Was that a
that's
play on
not
Final
Anonymous
Solution?
52
Is that what that was?
Hater.
A lot of Olivia fans here. I'm like,
Well, that last one maybe wasn't a fan.
oh, look at that.
Wait.
Olivia,
Oh
I'm
my
paying-
gosh. Wait, what's your
Wow.
Olivia, I'm paying
$20.
extra money to
Wow.
say that you
Is
look
that-
amazing.
Guys, so
Is
like,
that Christy
guys, how
No's
are we
husband?
gonna?
Guy is dropping.
How are we
fucking
gonna? So like, how are
hundreds.
we gonna split the 1999? Like, what's
You don't
the?
get
What's
any
split.
of that. Yeah.
No.
We gotta pay
What's
Jason.
break out
We
of
gotta
that?
pay Rachel.
Yeah, there's a lot to keep the lights
Gonna pay
on in
Nick.
here.
the fiscal situation.
You've done a lot of Mamdani reports.
I've
right?
done a lot of Chicago reporting recently. The Mamdani stuff is I'm starting to get interested in what's going on in terms of
Yeah.
the city budget negotiation. I don't
care.
I definitely care. I
Yeah.
definitely care. Like I haven't started reporting on that, but
Tell
I
us about the Chicago stuff. Go.
yeah, so I spent probably like I don't know, 3 months reporting this story. The first thing that happened is I saw this photo of Governor Pritzker with this man who was called a peacekeeper. And then 6 days later, that peacekeeper, who is a former gang member or justice involved individual, as they put it, justice impacted.
Camille.
Is
Is it? No. Is this the guy we had dinner with?
wait,
Might
what are
be.
you
I'm
talking
not
about?
even
The
joking, but no,
peacekeeper?
We had dinner with a guy who was in jail for many years for murder.
Okay.
And
Lot-
he
many
Yeah.
murders.
actually
Wow.
he told us at dinner.
Yeah.
Because I think he was like mad because I was like the murder. And he was like
Interesting.
many murders. I was like,
Yes.
oh, sorry, I don't want
Yeah.
to diss you on that. But he was involved in stuff like that, right?
Oh,
Of
so
like-
he was like paid by the state.
I don't know if
to-
he's paid by the state.
Yeah. He was weirdly
He was on the
politically
mend.
corrected in ways that were
Correct.
very strange.
and trying to
me.
help
Yeah.
reform.
Yeah,
peace.
but also hilarious and warm.
Super
and
nice guy.
Honestly, a lot of the people I met in Chicago, good hangs.
Good
Yeah.
hang,
Good
yeah.
hangs.
Yeah.
We went to Michael Jordan's Steakhouse with
We
like
did.
like an
That's-
array of
that was the
murderers.
venue. Wait,
I was joking.
That
Yeah.
is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this photo comes out of the governor with this guy who's a peacekeeper, and then 6 days later, that peacekeeper, who again is paid by the state to try and stop crime, he was arrested and charged with murder along with like $700,000 worth of theft. And so I saw that, and I wanted to know, what is a peacekeeper and how often is this happening? And so I submitted like a bunch of public records requests, and perhaps unsurprisingly, it goes deeper than this one arrest. I was able to find 28 other arrests. It's hard to, there's likely lots more than that, but it's hard
peacekeepers?
of peacekeepers getting arrested. Yeah.
Or murder.
Oh, so like currently when they're peacekeepers, not like they've reformed themselves. And
Right.
Yeah.
So
How do you become a peacekeeper in Chicago?
Kill somebody?
you're mostly recruited into it. They have these things called street.
So you're
gang.
mostly recruited in the neighborhood.
Well, it does become a little ambiguous. But yeah, they have these things called street outreach teams where I don't know, I guess if you're like known to be a troubled individual in the neighborhood, you hand them a flyer, you talk to them about the program, you encourage them to get involved with these nonprofits. There's usually like a pipeline. Yeah.
Is it working in any way?
Well, obviously the advocates in support of these programs point to the fact that most violent crime is down in Chicago, but that is the case nationally, and it's very scattered in Chicago. Like, it's on a neighborhood by neighborhood basis. There are neighborhoods where violence definitely is rising, but the people who live in these neighborhoods that I spoke to said that nothing has changed. That this one guy said, like, there were 7 abandoned houses on my block when these programs began. There still are 7 abandoned buildings. I hear shootings all the time. And this matters because just so much money has been poured into this. It's been $1 billion over the past decade.
And it was sold as what? We're going to do $1 billion peacekeeper program that's going to do...
The Peacekeeper program is a small slice of that. So its most recent budget was about $33 million, but it's a huge industry in Chicago and Illinois in general. It's called community violence intervention, where, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with the logic, and they actually have a similar program here in New York. Actually, they were deployed in the West Bank and Syria at one point. The guy, this idea traces back to this guy. His name is Gary Slutkin. Moynihan. Behave.
Gary who?
Slutkin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good, great guy. Yeah.
And he studied AIDS and tuberculosis in the 90s in Africa, and then comes back, and he's this academic in Chicago, and he has this realization, whoa, what if violence is like a disease and you spread it from person to person? We've got to contain it. And he actually at a certain point believes that violence can be cured, or at least made better through, I would call, like, compassion, like mentoring individuals, former gang members. He basically gets this concept that then becomes the Peacekeeper program, where someone who was involved in gangs or has been arrested and in and out of prison maybe is best suited to help bring someone out of that.
Well, they have
that
credibility.
life. Yeah,
It's
that is
it's
the exact word they use.
To put it in like the most generous concepts.
Yes.
Or context.
Yeah.
I shouldn't do this. It is a direct cultural intervention is what's being attempted there with someone who has actual credibility with people on the streets. And I could actually imagine a program like that being successful.
Yeah.
And I could also imagine an argument that says, well, you've got corruption in police departments.
Right.
All over the planet. This is always happened. And
True.
why wouldn't you expect a government program to systematically, in some instances, give money to bad people who aren't actually doing good things?
Right.
And I don't know that necessarily discredits the program. But when you find the corruption, the question becomes, do you root it out in a serious way? Also the case that I think the point you highlighted about just these high crime areas in places like Chicago, where you essentially have murder rates that rival the death rate in
Like
a military
Tijuana.
conflict,
Yeah.
if it falls by 15%, it is still really, really
bad.
awful.
Yeah.
Right.
You still hear
Right.
gunshots
Right.
routinely. It does
Right.
not feel like, God,
Right.
I'm so glad that, like, you know, 15% murder rate reduction in my neighborhood. That is still the most dangerous
No, and it's
community,
yeah.
not just in Chicago, like in the country.
Yeah.
And if you don't look at these numbers citywide, but look at it just kind of regionally on,
Yeah.
on a per capita basis, absolutely a hellscape to live in.
Yeah.
And that really hasn't changed, and kind of try something, anything makes sense. And also the fact that there would just be this deep abiding corruption in those places is not shocking either.
Yeah,
But,
I think the concept on paper does make sense. The problem is scale. Like, because I met people who do this work and actually are really amazing, people who were reformed. They were normally reformed through the prison system, though. The people I met who are really, I think, are making a difference and are paid to do this now, they weren't people who came up through that pipeline. I think when you're trying to scale something like this, you know, when $1 billion is flooded into programs like this, where you're trying to basically pay people to change, I think it's just kind of unlikely to like yield to recreate someone that is that called to it. A lot of people, I think, just think of it kind of like a job, like I'm clocking in and clocking out. And it's, the question is whether or not it's really changing people and in the long term. Then you get into the whole thing like, well, how much money is it just to maybe kind of reform one person? You know, you have to think about it like that too.
Yeah, the lived consequence of going to prison for doing the bad things, probably a little more dramatic than, here's $50.
There was
You
an
know, we
interesting
got you.
conversation over the last 48 hours. I think the New York Times had an editorial or an op-ed piece talking about some of the January 6th people who were pardoned.
Oh,
and some
interesting.
of them have like done horrible pedophilia.
wow.
Pedophilia, yeah.
Oh,
And the editorial or the piece was like, you know, look at these people that Trump's pardoning. That's really bad. And I agree that pardoning the
Interesting.
people who committed violent crime, you shouldn't do that. That's really like one of the underratedly horrible things that Trump has done. But a lot of people were saying, "Oh, New York Times." So
You don't like letting
Yeah,
criminals
that
get a
is
second
true.
chance?
Now that
Yeah.
you
So what's
pointed
up with
out,
that?
yeah.
Let's talk about how sort of bail reform has
Right.
played out, and what are the percentages there of recidivism compared to the percentages of people. It was almost like a Kmele moment of like, wouldn't it be interesting if those sides talked to each other right now about things.
Should we take another question?
Do we have one? Another
we
one?
got 'em.
Yeah.
What do we got?
What do we got?
Producer Jason. He's just still sulking because
he's on
the
Quad.
AFBs didn't work.
We'll
making
also
a-
take
he's making a
questions
video
from
game on
producers,
Quad.
people in this room.
Oh,
Andrew Heaton shelling out $20.
Oh, man.
Congratulations on 10 great years, lads. America is smarter because of you. Keep up the good work. Now I must away as my medication has kicked in.
Wait, is
Good
that a
for you.
Camille reference? What?
no,
The
he was
medication.
talking about dick pills earlier. I don't know why.
Definitely not a
So-
Camille
Oh,
reference.
oh, so he's
Not
got to
a
go
Camille.
like tend to
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
He was talking about having a hard on.
Good for
basically.
you, brother.
Yeah, thank
Go
you.
get it.
Thank you, Andrew, for that.
We support
That's
that here at the Fifth
fully disgusting.
Andrew is, I found this out yesterday, Nick, or today, from Reason Foundation President David Knott sent an email. Andrew Heaton is interviewing Afro Man.
Oh, easy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Love Afro Man.
The best.
Yeah, he's an American hero.
Literally the best.
Yeah. What was his song was Because I Got High.
Yeah.
Right.
I
That was the
gonna
one.
do a
Was that the
thing,
one?
Then
big,
I got high. That was that
Nick
one.
is doing a very deep head nod.
Yeah.
For the Afro Man.
No, just for getting high. That's Nick's most head nodding these days.
All right. Any other questions that you've picked out, Jason, that are worthy of addressing? This city is broken beyond repair. I presume that's wielding a bicycle chain. Why won't you change? Change and be nice. Joey is making a Morrissey reference. Nicely done.
Only Heaton could outdress
Just
Afro
joined
Man.
the
I'm
stream.
not sure.
Ben just joined the stream. Love Olivia. I'm 10-8 Jew 2.
Yeah.
Olivia, thank you.
I did just publish.
You just
this past
published
day
Just
today.
that you're at. Oh, was that? I just ordered that.
Sorry.
Yeah, you got to text people. That's what I. What the fuck are you doing?
What?
Finders
I
keepers.
literally text the.
Did you think that
Moynihan is
Texas.
like
Another one of
really.
those, please.
I can't
He-
do this.
Thank
I,
you.
you think I can
needs
sit
it.
here without
He
this?
needs it.
Good Lord.
Life affirming beverage.
I can show you the text. I said, get me one of
That
these right
was-
now.
No, I'm.
Wow.
I don't know
Wait,
what this
that was
is,
so
but do you
nice
want-
of
do you want-
Jason.
Olivia,
It is
you're a
kind.
10-8 Jew.
Right. Right.
I thought that was like, I read that in a dyslexic.
Like-
I'm
like 8 out of
8/10 of a
10.
Jew.
You're still a bad enough Jew
I
to
am
be
like,
here
yeah.
tonight.
And
by the
honestly,
way.
that would be a really good score. Like if I were
Yeah.
scoring at 8, because genuinely, like I'm starting at 0, basically.
Yeah, you were a
so,
0
so
Jew.
right now, if I had to rate myself, like
As a
I'm
Jew.
gonna say I'm like probably clocking in at like 2, but really like 3 for effort. Like
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you
rising to
why
3
you're
for
a 2
effort.
is because like we invited some people and they said, no, it's Passover.
yeah.
Right, and I said it's
so,
Passover, but yeah.
What's Passover?
Yeah. You're like, I'm not passing this over as some
Right.
bad joke.
My
or something like
Seder, the Seder that I'm going to, it's tomorrow, you know,
Yeah.
so that's convenient for me, but it was a cold-hearted calculation, and
Did you do
hopefully this
Passover
time
when you were a
next year.
kid?
Yeah, it
You
just
did?
it made me really nervous. I was
Anti-Semitic?
like, it's just like I was dreading when it would come, when it was my turn to read. I think because already at that point I was feeling so like out of. At that point, genuinely, my peers were like 8 years old, and I was like, I'm behind on this. Like I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I was already out of the loop. But anyway,
You're a half Jew, though.
thank you,
Just to be clear. I just want to be clear.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
The Germans would call
and
you a
it's-
Mischlinger. Yeah, you're like
and just
not
for full
fully, yeah.
transparency, because this is like a eugenics program, and
Correct.
I just need to be
Correct.
transparent with you.
Yes, yeah.
It is from my dad's side, so
Oh,
maybe
so-
that spares me.
Is that-
Actually,
is
maybe
that
I'm like
real,
not
though?
Jewish. Yeah, that's what I'm getting
I don't
at.
think that's real.
What do you mean? Like
Like, your mother has to be Jewish. like if
no,
your
that
dad's,
is that,
real?
for many people. That well, here's what I'll say. It weirdly is like way more real to non-Jews, where non-Jews love to tell you you're not Jewish. I don't know if this is
Oh.
applicable.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
I think the Nazis
show.
would have been like, you're Jewish. I think they would have not abide by those rules. But
And I would have been like, thank you for recognizing my identity. You know.
But you identify as Jewish after.
There
just
was
tell us
I've been
piece
on a
that you wrote.
journey. I've been on a journey, I would say. So like growing up as a kid, I definitely thought that felt like I was Jewish, but at the same time, I had a great rebellion in like 4th grade where I said I didn't want to go to Hebrew school anymore. Basically, my mom is like an in-your-face atheist, and I really drank the Kool-Aid where I was like, yeah, I don't want to be like everyone else. So I was really emo. I was like, I don't believe in God.
And you were like 8, you said?
How old are you when you're in 4th grade?
10.
No,
10.
Sure.
So I guess I was like 10, and then I got like I was never bat mitzvahed, and everyone I grew up with, who now has become, JVP, Jewish Voices for Peace types.
For those who don't know, that's the kind of lefty organization that's run by Arabs. Right? Is that?
Right,
I
right.
I remember reading that. I don't know if
Right,
that's
right, right.
true.
It's like
but it's funny.
it's pretty. I guess I haven't looked at the literature in a moment, but
it's like
at the very least,
anti-Zionist
it's
Jews,
very
right?
hostile to absolutely,
Correct. Okay.
absolutely, unapologetically anti-Zionist Jews. So yeah, everyone I grew up with was Jewish in the way that I was, which meant like we ate bagels, and I don't know what it meant. It was kind of a secular identity, and then for a while I probably felt like I wasn't Jewish because I just knew so little about it. And then after but I went to synagogue like kind of regularly, but it was just so freaking awkward. Like it was so and it wasn't really the right vibe. It was definitely a reform vibe, like a big like female rabbi, acoustic guitar, like, and I was just like didn't know
I call
any
them
of
the
the
Joni
melodies,
Mitchell
like
Jews. Yeah, with the acoustic
didn't know
guitar and
any
the-
of the
yeah.
melodies, and
Yeah.
but then after October 7th, I guess eventually I just landed in the place where I was like, it's kind of now or never. And also realizing that for a while, to be honest, I was angry at myself. I was angry at my dad that I had this big rebellion and that my parents, hadn't, because I think a lot of kids have a freak out like that. But I also realized like a lot went wrong in his Jewish upbringing. You know, he lost his dad when he was a kid. Anyway, this is really like 10-year anniversary. Woo!
Yeah.
But
I mean, we started
I'm-
with gay. You're genetically gay, and then it's a lot of
Oh
sadness.
yeah, I
tonight.
heard you guys got deep into
We
that.
got deep into
like,
that. Didn't
gay.
mean
What
to.
is gay? Yeah. But positive ending. This is where you can play like the inspirational music. Like,
Yes.
I have wow trumpet.
That was a Rocky trumpet from Matt. Yeah, he does that. Yeah.
I'm getting into it. I'm decided like I went on this retreat this past weekend and it was so unexpectedly emotional.
What kind of retreat, Olivia Reingold?
Like very powerful Jews getting together.
Yeah.
Oh.
We call
Getting
that
together
The
and
puppet masters.
yeah.
we call that a Barry
yeah.
retreat. It's fine.
And we like loaned each other money. No, I'm just joking.
Each other, nobody else. It's internal.
But it
Go
was
ahead.
it was good. They were very, you know, I definitely was the most like disconnected there, and they had some really nice fundamentals there. I think everyone there probably it was stuff they probably taught like babies. But like it was really nice, and it I'm on my journey.
To the
How are the
peop-
comments? Like they're good. They
well,
loved everything I was saying, right? I bet
Keith Talent says bagels are delicious.
Bagels are delicious.
Woo!
That costs 10 Canadian
$10. We can hardly buy
Canadian
one
dollars,
bagel.
so that
We
was
can buy a
about-
bagel,
that's
no locks here.
$7
It's like a
and
seven,
But we
it's like
love it.
one
Thank you.
Montreal bagel. I'll tell you what, to the people who have asked, I saw there was a
Guys, think of
second question
questions.
about this.
Oh, okay.
Is to the people who are asking again about John Oliver. We'll have you on. This is an anniversary.
People think I'm like, I think
John Oliver
that's
made fun
really
of you,
funny.
and people want to hear
And
about this.
Yeah, John Oliver made fun
Yes.
of me. I can't really remember his jokes, but obviously, like, you know, good luck to his partnership with Al Quds Network last week tonight in Hadza.
He has a writing staff of 35.
Right.
I don't know if you do.
and like and I don't, but like
yeah.
I, you know.
No,
I
I said
make
we'll
myself laugh.
have you back to talk about this, and
Oh,
I guess
you
people
did.
want to know. But you know,
People want to know. What do
people
they want to know about it?
I don't know. They say,
What do
"What's
they
your
wanna know?
response to it?"
Did-
What's your
what's my
response
what?
to it?
I am not. To be honest, I don't remember the claims. I just remember a lot of like you know him just staring at the camera going
Yeah.
"Ah." Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what
Yeah.
what the man was on about. I get that like he doesn't like me. Like
Yeah.
I you know I guess we can't hang out, and
Yeah.
that is okay with me. That's okay with
Okay,
me.
all right.
But I remember he went deep. He went deep into like my reporting for NPR, which I'm trying to remember what he had to say about that, because it was something about.
I haven't seen it, so I
was
could.
something-
I
guys,
would push
commenters,
harder,
who
guys,
remembers?
but I can't.
Who remembers? It was something I was reporting on Trump. Oh, okay.
I mean, if I got like
Okay.
shit slammed on national TV, I might remember it.
yeah, listen, join.
I'd probably try to forget it, to be honest.
On-
But yeah.
Don't mean to brag, but I'd be getting thousands of hate.
Wow.
Yeah.
They be
That's
coming in.
why you got the
They see the
Brezhnevs.
Sometimes from John Oliver.
Go.
Sometimes from
she's
John
like,
Oliver. Sometimes from Anonymous.
right?
Oh my God, Moynihan!
Yeah.
I wanted to make a joke.
Yeah,
like
no,
I was trying to do a joke just then.
No, you're a girl, and they're not very funny.
Okay, did
so-
you do your joke? Actually, my joke's over. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm remembering what he said though.
Yeah, I think that was the point. Yeah.
yeah, that did jog my memory. So
Yeah.
he was saying, so the NPR editor that inserted a word into my headline. I can't. It might have been about COVID, but I think it was about Trump, and. Oh, it was about the tweets. Like, okay, I remember. So the tweets that were considered the go back to where they came from, tweets which the assignment, I was in Montana at the time. I was reporting for one of the local NPR affiliates, and Morning Edition sent me out to talk to Trump voters about like what do they make of these tweets. Well, I just like walked right into a gun range, like fully with like my shotgun mic, and I was like, hey boys, like, what do we think of those tweets? And they didn't feel like they were racist. And then when I submitted my story to NPR and they created like a digital version of it, they put the word racist in the headline. And I felt like I'd have to read the tweets again. I think the tweets probably were racist, to be honest. But to me, it's open for debate because I just heard from people. I went out and I reported and they felt like they weren't racist. So I didn't like the idea of weighing in there when there was obviously an open debate in society.
But you objected to the headline and he knew
and
that?
and I think he was just saying like the tweets were totally racist. And it's like, okay, well, that's why you work in like opinion PowerPoint show, like where he just had this angry PowerPoint. Like,
And to people who still
wanna
haven't
see these
figured this
tweets.
out, reporters don't write their own headlines.
Right.
Very
Right.
rare.
Right.
Sometimes you go in and
Just-
say,
Sometimes
me.
they even change after
do
it's
you?
published.
yeah,
True.
well,
always
particularly at
remember.
NPR.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the New York
Yeah.
Times the other day said, what was the one the other day? It's the J-pilled thing. Did you see this?
No, what's that?
Oh, this was great. There was a story in the New York Times.
Glasses
it was a
going
headline,
on.
but I think it was
It was
a,
in a story.
It was in the story, yeah.
And
Your glasses are good too. What are
they're great,
those?
yeah, the Chinese people make
I gotta get some
very
glasses.
very poor people make these glasses. I thought I sent this, but there was a bit in a story where he was talking to like people at CPAC. Do you remember? You
Yeah,
were part of this.
they're talking about like the alt-right or like, nationalist right and
Oh,
said,
I didn't even see the headline.
and
you
said-
sent a
No, it was,
clip
it was actual
something
from
in
the
the
story, and they
Yeah.
said these people
described themselves as J-pilled, which
Yeah.
means that they're critical of Israel.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. The J in that is not.
Well, I like
It's a
that.
little
Well,
more-
I
a little
like
more
that
than
the
critical
cat's
of
out of the
Israel.
bag.
Yeah.
I like because
Yeah.
for a while they've been. No, these are very distinct.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm.
No, J-pilled is eliminating that distinction.
What if I'm
It's
J-pilled though,
Jew-pilled.
but
Yeah.
just like in a
In the
based
other
way?
way.
You're a 10-8.
Yeah.
You're a 10-8. You've been
right.
J-pilled.
I'm
in the
8
other
out of
direction.
10. An 8.
Yeah.
I'm an 8/10.
Yeah.
I think
gotta
that's
read
how
this
I read
piece.
You're
that.
an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's a little. That's good.
Let's get you back on.
Yeah, let's get you back
sooner
on
rather than
to
later, right?
to discuss
Okay, but
other
like-
things.
So
What?
like, can we like?
This isn't a booking session.
Can I get your contact?
no,
Because
how did you-
We
Fuck
got
no.
people over there.
No, we have other people.
yeah,
You're trying
we
to
have
book.
people to handle
You want to
that.
borrow money?
Don't
What do you-
ever
Oh my
go
gosh,
through him.
what is
Are
this
you fucking
thuggish
kidding?
behavior? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Like
a
I mean, the
7 drinks today
man,
and
the
no
man
food.
never trusts a
Despite the
man
fact
who
that I'm
lives
fat.
in Bed-Stuy. So
You hate Brooklyn. You hate
Wow.
90% of the conversation I've had with you have been, I think they're actually racist. I think that's a headline that I'm
wait,
comfortable
what do you
with.
mean?
Because
Oh,
you hate
people in
Brooklyn so
Brooklyn?
much, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
that the people of Brooklyn are racist
No,
against
you're
me?
racist
Oh my gosh! Wait,
because you hate
wait,
Brooklyn so much.
Moynihan. Wait.
Yeah,
Okay,
what?
one
Here we go.
crazy story that I haven't thought about
Here comes-
forever. Okay, so it was like it was maybe October 2023, maybe November or something. We are walking on the Brooklyn Bridge. It's like it's an anti-Israel protest.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
I was a
was-
participant.
okay,
You were a
and
journalist, yeah.
I was actually just there to like see how you do things, and then
Yeah.
I learned like
Don't do it like that.
I've actually got it. Like this is not a good learning opportunity for
Yeah.
me. But you were just.
And by the way, the piece never
It was
came out,
actually
so,
awesome.
yeah.
It was actually awesome. But we were walking across the Brooklyn Bridge, or almost there, and we were trying to clear the path. You don't remember this? We were
Explain,
trying
maybe
to
I'll
clear the
remember.
path for. You were like walking backwards or something. Oh no, our photographer had to walk backwards.
Backwards, yeah.
So me and Susie Weiss, we were trying to clear the path for the photographer as
Yeah.
you were giving the
yes,
interview.
yes.
And this
And you
guy,
meant like Sinwar.
this
Yeah,
guy
it
who
was
looked like really actually kind of a fun, chic, gay dude
Yeah.
who was like Latino. He
Yeah. out not to
actually
be fun.
refused. He actually refused to move, and like the cameraman who kind of like he was kind of getting aggressive. Like he didn't want to knock into this guy who was.
Yeah.
So Susie and I were like, hey, like, so
Yeah.
sorry, like the
Yeah,
like the
right.
cameraman's getting closer to
Yeah,
you. Like,
yeah.
would you consider moving?
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not moving for you white bitches. Like,
Oh,
and
that's
he said it.
right.
He said
Yeah.
it like
Yeah.
3 times. Like, and so I think he said like white, like C word.
I wonder,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
I wonder if it was that dude who would always show up at the Hezbollah kind of marches. In,
What? No, I think
No,
there are
this
more
was
than
like,
just one.
There was like, it was just a random
But
angry guy.
Brooklyn, listen.
Yeah.
That happened in Brooklyn.
Did I defend you or not?
No, you were on camera and you were just going, "We're at a protest,"
yeah.
and you were being a schmooze.
With a
You were being a
couple of
schmooze.
white,
But
you
that
know.
was a hateful act to me.
Yes, it was.
That
Yeah.
happened in Brooklyn, and
I'm sorry that happened to you.
yeah.
And I'm sorry I
thank
didn't
you.
defend you.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Wait.
I was doing my
you.
job.
Yeah. What
and
would you
you
have
were
said?
not.
No, she's a white.
Yeah.
She's a white angel.
Yeah. I was like, I said if the shoe fits, and we kept shooting.
What would you have
Yeah.
said?
I would have said that. If
She's
the
a
shoe
white.
Fits, yeah.
She's because
Yeah,
because that's
you
factual.
are-
That is just
it's
factual.
factually right. Right.
That's
Yeah.
factual.
You are a white lady.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I remember that interaction. I don't remember hearing that. Would I have done something? Probably would have been.
You would have said, "Get that on
inadvisable.
camera." You would have
Well, if
said,
I had said something,
No,
in
honestly,
that
I'm
crowd, which was a very aggressive crowd,
Right.
it probably would have gone very badly for all of us. But thankfully, I was not paying attention. So.
anyway.
All right, final
you so
thing before
much.
you go.
Oh.
Happy anniversary. Read Jewishness. If you haven't seen Ari Shafir's special on YouTube from a couple of years back called Jew, holy moly, you need to. Ari's very funny, by the way. One of the best specials of the last several years. That's the Cold Rush 22, who it might be Ari Shafir because they paid for that. Yeah. That was a good endorsement. But yeah, I like Ari Shafir. He's very funny.
Okay,
But thank you,
Thank you.
Olivia.
Thank
We're
you.
going to swap
Thank
you
you.
out
It's me.
for somebody with the ethnic background that matches my
Thank
own.
you.
So
Thank you, comrade. Yes. Okay.
thank you, darling.
See you later.
Yay.
There he is.
Oh, God. Sack of potatoes.
You know, I
sir.
told her the story about me becoming Jewish at 8, and she just stole it. I got nothing.
Yeah, when
I
you're
got
Italian,
nothing.
I was like, you
Yeah.
a Jew.
Yeah.
Nick Gillespie,
Yes.
welcome.
Present. Thank you for having me, boys. Congratulations. A hell of a decade.
He's stewing with anger that he's
No,
on at 9 o'clock.
also
Eric.
congratulations.
Now, I'm usually asleep by now.
Yeah. Well, why is
That's
he said
quite true.
congratulations in order for Nick Gillespie, who is
Yeah.
a new father.
Yes,
Like
that's
a
right.
50-pound baby.
A senior dad.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, he's
Yes.
very cute.
You're the Mick Jagger.
wonderful.
I mean,
for
he
yeah,
looks like
that's
you,
right.
so yeah.
Yeah.
The baby looks like Nick.
Oh, yeah.
God.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
There's some money in the super chat. To
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I found a picture of myself at about 3 months from 1963, and I was like, that is the same fucking
The same.
kid. Yeah.
Wow.
So
And how is it this time around?
even with the 666 on the birthmark.
Yeah, the
yeah,
squeaky from baby.
It is interesting. This is my third son, and I've been telling a lot of people this. My first son was born when I was 30,
Yeah.
and that was fine. A hectic. Second one, I was 36, and I remember saying with my now ex-wife, I was like, I'm too old. Like, I can't do this. And, and then you fast forward, I don't know what it is, like 28 something years later, and I feel much more energized.
Now you can do it.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Of course, I've stopped working.
Yeah.
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 And
You're a stay-at-home dad now.
that's right. Yeah, I'm doing a John Lennon.
Yeah.
type
That's
thing,
right. Yeah.
So my
Thinking
politics are finally getting radical. And I'm pretty sure, I think Angela Davis, I'm going to write a
exactly.
prose poem about that.
Angela, they put you in prison.
That's right. Yeah.
Angela, they shot down your man.
Yeah.
You're one in a million. Yeah.
Love,
Which, by the way, is a pretty good song.
It's
I kinda
all
like this song.
Sometime in New York is like the greatest album.
It's good.
And it's clear, like, all of us will say, like, oh, my life could be a musical, and you will just like, I'm getting half and half out of the refrigerator. That is what that is. Like John Sinclair, Luck of the Irish,
the White
Angela.
Panther,
Yeah, it's just like he was clearly just strumming a guitar and narrating his life. And it's a really underappreciated album.
But that's pre-Sean, because that's 72.
That's right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's, something,
Yeah, it's even pre...
pre-talking to Julian.
Yes. Well, yeah. It's pre Lost Weekend.
Yeah.
And
Napang.
yeah. There's a great recent documentary, 1 to 1, about John and Yoko
Yeah.
and the.
You're a Yoko apologist.
Oh,
Nick
I'm
Gillespie.
a celebrator.
Yeah.
But they did when Geraldo Rivera, this is like a time capsule that, cracked. So when you open it up, it's like got mold and everything in it. But when he did an expose for the Evening News or something about Willowbrook, which was a
Right.
Yeah.
mental
Health-
institution for
yeah.
retarded kids
Where
in Staten Island.
Carol King's
and it
brother
was
was
that right?
stashed away,
Okay. Yeah.
and she never knew him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So in any case, when that got shut down because of Geraldo's reporting, they did a Madison Square Garden benefit concert.
Yeah.
And that forms the basis of One to One, which is about them in the village in the early 70s. And the performances are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
really,
That
really
is
good.
just being released now, right? The
The
concert.
music. Yeah,
whole
yeah,
was-
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's very good.
Jason, take that one down to this one. Nick fucking Gillespie.
Yeah.
What's your deal? Hater again. This is a prolific commenter.
I am a hater. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
he understands that.
That's what-
Congratulations on the baby. Please, for the love of God, make Peter Suderman stop interrupting on the round table. Prayer hands. Maybe you can give your take on Mayor Mamdani and his fiscal solutions.
Yeah, the final solutions, fiscal solutions. Yeah, he
end
needs
this
a
on-
pair of pants that fits. You don't live here anymore, but like, do you even know that Mamdani is mayor yet? Like,
mean,
my
I
garbage is
know.
not getting picked up any faster or slower. Potholes.
The second snowstorm was cleaned up faster.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I
and that-
heard that one of the things they had floated, I don't know if it's going to happen, was the paying for parking. Did you see this proposal?
What
that
does
there'll
that
be
mean?
no, alternate side parking. You'll have to pay a yearly fee to park in the city to close all these budget gaps, shall we say?
Yeah,
That's the only thing I saw. I
that's
haven't
kind of
noticed.
interesting.
I like
Kind of
the
interesting.
I like the mansion tax for every house that's valued above
$750,000. So every house.
Yeah, so
Every
literally
house.
my studio that I'm renting in
Yeah.
East New York is now
Yeah,
a
the
mansion.
refrigerator box on the corner of 46th and 9th where a homeless man lives is now being taxed as a
I saw
mansion.
that he got booed at Passover today. I think he had like a Passover dinner of some sort, and
Booing at a Passover dinner is pretty
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
It's
I don't-
pretty awesome.
Isn't that what you do?
Yeah.
at a Passover? I mean, you boo Pharaoh. That's part of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, Baruch atah, the booze start.
Yeah.
I think one of the absolute greatest things, if you're going to be in New York, which is a mistake that we're
Yeah.
all, or at least some of us are still making, at least you can boo your mayor that you just voted
Oh, yeah,
for,
yeah,
like overwhelmingly. De Blasio, as soon as he became mayor, went and threw out the first pitch at Shea Stadium, then
Yeah.
Shea before, or maybe it was Citi Field, and just like, of course, he just won by 40 percentage points.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
absolutely, everybody just booed
One
the
of
shit out
my
it.
earliest political memories was my father, who was born in New York in the 20s and was a track and field guy. And he won like the 220-yard dash in like 1935 or something
Only
citywide.
Italian. Yeah, they're like,
Well, he was
they're
Irish.
wearing like long pants.
He was, yes, yeah, that's right. He was, but then he won that, and then the coach said to him, like, John, you're pretty good at this. Like, you can eat, but you have to choose. And he was like 12 or 13, like either running or cigarettes. And he was like, well, coach, see you later. But when he told us that, because we had this, he won like this baby Jesus thing, and on the back it had like John Gillespie, blah blah blah, and he would show it to us, and we were like, do you ever revisit that in your mind? And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, I still love cigarettes. But he used to take my brother and I to the Milrose games, which was big indoor meet every year that would be held in Madison Square Garden. And this would have been in the early 70s. Bella Abzug came out to like start the mile or something, shoot the thing. And the minute she came out, the booing, and I mean, this is a track audience. Like, what the fuck do they care?
Yeah.
Everybody was on their feet booing Bella Abzug. And I was like, okay,
I think I'm
that's
still
right.
That's
booing
beautiful.
Bella
Yeah,
Abzug
yeah.
randomly.
Well, she had the hats. That was her.
But you lived in the middle of Ohio.
Yeah.
You're the Dave Chappelle of libertarianism.
That's
just a
right.
random
Yeah,
town.
not too far from Yellow Springs.
Yeah, Yellow Springs. You live in L.A. and
I lived in
DC,
Buffalo,
In Buffalo.
Huntsville, Texas,
But you're
prison capital.
you're the opposite
Murder
of
capital.
when I worked at the Daily Beast. Andrew Sullivan was coaxed to come and move to New York, and he ended up writing this piece for Tina
Yeah.
about how New York was the worst place on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
planet. It's a total fucking dump. Nobody should live here, and they moved back to DC.
Right.
You're a big New York booster, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This
I
is like
New York.
where you
Yeah.
belong.
I kind of hate New York, but it's clearly the greatest city, in America, probably on the planet. I don't know. You agree with that? You have to pretend that you care about the outdoors because you live in Tiburon, right? Or
I was in Tiburon,
Tiburon,
but I'm in
okay.
Mill Valley
Tiberius.
now,
Yeah.
so I'm still close.
No,
still close to Tiburon.
right? And that is like a classic name, right? Or that's from classical Greek, or
What, Tiburon?
Yeah, or
I think
or
it's
the Bible.
just Spanish for shark. if
Oh,
I'm
that's what it
mistaken.
is. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, same thing.
It's a classical name. in
yeah,
some
yeah.
respect. Yeah, New York is a great city.
Yeah.
This is true.
This
is
is
fair.
it's
I
overwhelming.
don't, but I do not want to live in New York.
Yeah, I get
I
that.
have no desire to do
Yeah,
that
yeah.
whatsoever. And if I have to choose between Marin County and
Yeah.
New York City,
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
an easy
All right,
decision.
sure.
Yeah. But San
was just-
Francisco is not the same thing.
No,
It is-
no,
it
of course,
is
yeah,
jarring.
yeah,
New
yeah.
York is jarring. Like my daughter and I were on vacation the past 5 days. Wonderfully nice.
Did you was it a staycation?
It was a staycation.
Did you check the Museum of Ice Cream and
No,
all the
no,
great
no.
things New York
It was a
known for?
staycation in a different city,
Oh, okay.
and
That's not a
everything
staycation.
was nice. And she always points out how friendly people are.
Uh-huh.
And then you land,
Right.
and we landed at the furthest possible gate, and it was
Yeah.
like a 40-minute walk to get to.
Yeah.
We took the air train, and like there's always like somebody shitting on the train. You're like,
Dude,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
god, why am I back here?
Yeah.
And the first thing you're confronted with in New York is always somebody doing something horrible.
Oh, yeah.
But within 2 days, you completely forget about
Yeah.
it. It's just like washed out.
that's-
I
yeah.
couldn't- I couldn't live
Today
anywhere
also
else.
because the weather was so nice and I was downtown and
Yeah.
the smells were so unbelievably rancid.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah,
this
this
is-
but a great city has great odors.
I don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah.
a lot. There's a lot of.
That's your
cope.
Bartlett quotation.
There's a lot of
That's
cope.
right. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of
great
cope.
city.
Oh
around
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Great
yeah. I have
odors,
to
yeah.
admit I stole that from Olivia.
But
She
these
told me
these
that.
are these when the weather is this amazing, these are the dangerous times to be in New York because it misleads you into believing that it's it's like this a lot. No, it is not. It is never
And
like this.
the
6 months or
the
like
weather this
6
year. I
days.
mean, there was a lot of snow, and
days.
in Hell's Kitchen, like when it snows, all bets are off, and like there were human feces on
my
top
God.
of the snowdrifts.
Sure,
Like I don't know who the
city.
Edmund Hillary of the homeless are that they saw a snow pile and they're like, I have to take a shit on the top of it, but it was there, and
What
it
a
took
town.
You
like
want them to dig a hole in it?
Yes,
I don't know.
actually.
No, you don't
You
have
know,
a little shovel with
I don't
them.
know what I want something more
You
from
read
my
that
body.
one. This is
This
for
comes
Nick.
from
Yeah.
Rick Thinker 6524. Nick, 10 plus years ago, I happened to stop on a little show, The Independents.
Yeah.
It was a great fucking show. You were guesting on. Afterward about the Declaration of Independence, this led me to finding Reason. You and Welch,
Wow.
Wow. All right.
not Kmele Foster, who I think was a
of course
co-host.
I was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You and Welch
Wow.
changed the way I think forever. Thank you.
wow.
And
That's
even
very
wrote
nice.
Forever, like it was a
For-
Prince
yeah,
song.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
Well, at
great.
least one of you was a libertarian, so that's
Yeah.
good.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Nick,
That's-
yeah,
This Red Panda
Yeah.
Bear 02.
yeah.
Nick, in honor of the semi-quincentennial
Mm-hmm.
celebration this year, what is, in your opinion, America's most important contribution to humanity?
Wow.
And what will it be its most lasting contribution?
It's a good question.
Well, and I'm going to say this
Sorry.
because both I know Michael will enjoy it, and it's true. But the movie Mickey Blue Eyes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It stars a Brit. But
Yeah,
it is
but no,
a
but
great-
that's what's great is he has to come to terms with being in America, which
yes.
is what
yeah.
the
That's
revolution
a Hugh Grant
is all about.
movie, right?
Yeah, Hugh
Mickey
Grant.
Blue. Yeah, great.
Yeah,
It's also a Norm Macdonald joke.
that's right.
No, it's him as
That's
Larry.
Larry King, right? Yeah. He, I think Larry King is the author of the world that we're living in. When he started in the 80s, he started writing the USA Today column,
Yeah.
One
where
sentence
everything
column.
was
Like I
just
said, yeah.
connected by ellipses.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I
Donald
just ate a
Trump-
salad.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
whatever, you know.
If, in the Norm Macdonald joke, from memory, was if you see one movie this year, make it Mickey Blue.
Matt, you are going deep on the revolution.
I'm going to interrupt you for once,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
And because I'm listening to Jack Henneman's wonderful
Yeah.
History of the Americans podcast, and you actually clued Jack Henneman in on the character of Roger Williams,
Oh,
who's
really?
your
Yeah.
favorite
Yeah, yeah.
kind of like proto-American and founder
Yeah.
and stuff. Most people don't know who Roger Williams is, and it's meaningful to you. And it's becoming more meaningful to me as I listen to Jack and read up on stuff.
Yeah.
Can you tell us why Roger Williams is your favorite?
Yeah, Roger Williams is, he founded the city of Providence in Rhode Island, and they got the royal charter for Rhode Island. And
Which was a
he was-
heroic, crazy
and
fucking
he
escapade.
he went to Cambridge in the 17th century, and Cambridge was the university in England that the Puritans went to. So they were calling bullshit out on the king and established religion, and it got too hot for him in England, so he came to the Massachusetts Bay Colony, where he immediately started accusing the leaders, the patriarchs of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, of preaching a covenant of works, not grace, basically accusing them of being Catholic. And they were about to send him back to England, where he would have been hanged. He skedaddled to Providence, made
like,
friends with
literally
the
had to
Indians
hightail in the forest.
an errand in the wilderness, where in one of the worst winters in recorded history, and he ended up making peace with the Indians, and he wrote the first extended argument for separation of church and state in English. A thing called The Bloody Tenet of Persecution. He also wrote a best-selling book called The Key into the Language of America, where he said the Indians are just as kind of civilized, or they have etiquette and rules and laws like the English do, and he would map whatever, like their custom to an English custom. It was a big bestseller in 17th century
It was also
England.
a piece of propaganda to prevent him from being hanged, basically, by the British, who wanted, or like by the Massachusetts Bay Colony, which wanted to like basically seize Providence and Rhode Island from him.
Well, and you know, the funny thing, like I assumed everybody knew Roger Williams because I went to, I was born in Brooklyn, but I grew up about 50 miles from here. And I went to a really shitty Catholic school, which I will name. It's St. Mary's of New Monmouth, New Jersey, which is part of Middletown. And the high school I went to was Modern Day. It's so bad it went out of business. And Brian Williams, the liar MSNBC
Oh my
guy,
God.
he
Landing the
was
plane now.
he was like
He got
six,
shot there.
he
told a story
he
about it.
took
He got shot
fire
in the
there.
face.
And he any of us who had mothers will enjoy this. Like he went to school there years before I did, but my mother was always like, "You were best friends with him," and I was like, "I have no idea who he is," and she would constantly. But in any case, St. Mary and at Modern Day, every year we would start American history over, and because it was Catholic school, they would teach you, like Catholics do nothing until, like until John F. Kennedy became president in America, and they were banned from owning property and being in public office in most colonies. And I mean, we all know that now, right?
We did
I
things
mean,
right for a
that's why
time,
I don't
yeah.
worry about the Islamists. They're coming late, right? But they taught this weird history where it was all about French and Spanish explorers and about how America was like a place of religious freedom. And they loved Roger Williams, Anne Hutchinson, and Thomas Hooker, who founded Connecticut, because they were all religious, independent, like whatever. And so like we would learn about, and because it was a bad school, every year we would start with like, Columbus, a bunch of French and Spanish Catholics, and then Roger Williams. Then we would run out of time. It would be June, and we'll be like, okay, we'll pick it up next. Yeah, and then it was like next year we'll start with Roger Williams again. So that's why I know an alternative history of America.
And
which is
like
kind of interesting.
just penned like his concepts of separating church from state hadn't been discussed in that way before.
And he
Or
has a
established.
great line about how forced worship stinks in God's nostrils. He could really turn a phrase.
He turned a phrase. He was also very charismatic and physically.
Yeah.
And he was.
Although there is no known depiction of him, like contemporaneous drawing of him or anything, which is fascinating. Like nobody, there are not even really physical descriptions of what he looked like. But he's really, he's the ultimate American. He's like a proto-libertarian. He's a proto-liberal, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. God, what's his name? John. I'm forgetting his name. He wrote a great book called Roger Williams and the Creation of the American Soul. The guy who did the Spanish flu epidemic book. I interviewed him for Reason about this and something else. John, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name, but very, very good book.
Jay Dizzer? What is that? Huge fans of all of you since the Red Eye days. What are your favorite moments, memories from being on the show? Matt, I know yours, which is to say, recently we talked about you and space.com.
Oh yeah, with Lou Dobbs. Yeah. Is Lou was still with us?
No,
or?
No.
Okay.
He's been. He was he from New Jersey? He lived in New Jersey.
Probably.
And I remember there was a story about because he was very he was he was like
he did
the
not
Tom
like the
Tancredo
Mexicans.
of yeah.
And
It turned out that
Of
there
the
were it was like
201
his
area.
house was like ringed with Mexican
Well, and
workers,
also
yeah.
his wife was Mexican.
Oh wow,
So
that explains a lot.
I
Yeah.
mean,
One of the,
Take her
he
away.
could, yeah.
as we all
Reporting her all
know,
the time.
Yeah,
the
Kirsty Noem's husband
She's
was
not
like, I don't-
illegal.
I don't
No,
know
she
what-
is.
yeah. No, he kept calling her in. You know,
the conduit to information at a television network is the makeup room.
Yeah.
And the makeup room's information about Lou Dobbs at Fox was
Well, that's
I
where I
didn't
saw
get
the
the-
picture
what
of
was
that guy as that dog.
what was the
I mean, it was a tough job.
working for
That,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
face
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
was a
Oh, I
tough
see.
job.
Wow.
to
Yeah.
keep that on.
I've never told
Wow.
the Stossel story on the
Smirching
show,
the
have
dead.
Let's hear it.
I? The one with the guy.
You did 5 times.
Did I really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
incredibly rude of me. Denounced him on the, and he had the shovel in his hand. He was like, "Get up the shovel."
Favorite Red Eye moments.
Nick,
Red
what,
Eye.
yeah,
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
on Red Eye
I
a
was
bunch.
I was on Red Eye a bunch. My favorite moment, actually, what just occurred to me was that I got to ombudsman. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how
Oh,
it
wow,
works,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that was fun.
I did that a lot.
in place of
But-
TV's Andy Levy.
Yes.
But my favorite Red Eye moment
hates
is
us
not
now.
is not a moment, is a person. Is just Gavin stuff in general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Gavin.
specifically one day when I said, and I think it's still right, something about like Gavin being a racist. And someone said something, and I responded to him. I put my hand on his shoulder, and I said, "Gavin, you're not a racist. You are just deeply confused." And we left it there. And
Then he called you the N-word.
I think
one
I'm right.
time.
I think I'm right.
That's
Never,
funny,
never
'cause-
to my face.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it's ever
yeah,
happened.
yeah. Well, he said to
never
my
to
face.
my
No, I'm
face.
joking.
Yeah.
No, I did. I said something about him. We did an episode of my show that was a pilot, and there was, for some reason, we had nothing in the week, and we aired the pilot. And the pilot was with my friend Thomas Morton, the former Vice correspondent, who did a documentary about
him,
Gavin
yeah.
for
yeah.
CBC, and it, won like the Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
Award.
The Gordon
for best
Lightfoot Award.
the wreck of the
Yeah.
Edmund Fitzgerald
Yeah.
Award for Best Documentary. And he came on and we talked about it. And it was not supposed to air. And Jason was like, "Oh, we'll just air it." And I was like, "Yeah, it's fine.
Jason.
It's fine." And I was like really fat in it. I was it was like 20 pounds heavier. I don't know why. But in it, I said something about Gavin, which he really didn't like.
Oh.
And he had watched this and then did a whole bit on the show, his show, censored TV, about how, and I didn't watch this. I didn't want to watch it, but I just heard that the first 10 minutes were about how both Thomas and I were divorced. And he was like, "This is a disgrace that these guys are divorced."
And isn't, I hate to keep bringing up Gordon Lightfoot, but isn't he married to a Chippewa woman?
He is, yeah.
Not unlike, who called Lake Superior Gitchigumi.
Gitchigumi,
Yeah.
My favorite bit about Red Eye, or it was kind of a disappointment. I enjoyed that show, and that it is amazing how many people still talk about that show. It's real.
Yeah.
But when I first got called to do it, and I forget when it was, I thought it taped at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was bitterly disappointed when it was like, "Yeah, come in at 9." p.m. Because
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
no, I thought it was at
Yeah.
it's 2 or 3 a.m.
That's back in your drinking days too. Is you're like, I'm gonna fuck.
Yeah,
this
no,
entire
that's
place.
right. Yeah. No, so like I was gonna,
No, he was having to sober up by 3 a.m.
yeah, that's what I was gonna
Nine.
pass
I've already
out at
thrown up.
9, and then
Yeah.
But I told, was that
Yeah.
in the, no, it was before we recorded the other day when I told the story about Bob Woodward, my Woodward interaction. It was
Bob
like,
Woodward of,
Bob Woodward,
of Wired,
Yeah, the
or
Meijer,
the short
journalist. And we should
live
have
Fast
Ben
Times.
Dreyfus here, who
By the way,
hates Bob Woodward with
why?
passion because of Wired.
because Wired.
but why?
Can we?
Because
Can
his
we?
mom is in that book because his mother was dating.
I realize now Gordon Lightfoot is the key to everything, because the groupie that Sundown is about is the woman who killed John Belushi.
Oh, right.
That's 100%
really
true.
is true
And
that-
Yeah.
she was also like a.
She's always
band-
sneaking down that back stair.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Wah,
that song.
wah, wah.
You can
Yeah.
hear that. Raise a glass to Ben Dreyfus.
Yeah.
He would be here
he
tonight.
dead?
No, he's
Oh,
not
okay.
yet, but he
Well,
might.
all right.
Still.
That's
He's our-
for him. Yeah.
He couldn't find his eye.
I think he's our favorite one-eyed guest.
He's on all
That's
fours looking for
definitively
his
true.
eye.
It'd be
Yeah. For now.
if he was a Cyclops, it would be a lot more impressive.
Yeah, it
I
would
mean,
be.
but anybody can lose an eye.
Yeah, that's an easy
yeah.
one.
He would be here, except for that his mother, who we just
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about,
Yes.
fell down
Oh,
and broke
yeah.
her hip.
Broke
Yeah.
it.
And he's in Idaho taking care of
Yeah.
her. So
Yeah.
shout out to
Yeah.
Ben.
Shout out to Ben.
Yeah.
Ben
But
Ben's mom.
the Bob Woodward thing was
Oh,
that
yeah.
I was with, I think it was some comedian, that was the great thing about Red Eye.
Yeah.
Is that you meet those amazing
comedians.
Yeah,
comedians,
yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
whom I still talk to today. And we were talking in the green room, and Woodward was in there because he was going on Bill O'Reilly, because he's going Bill O'Reilly all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Fuck.
And he was like watching O'Reilly, and he was like this, like he was on the bench, like watching O'Reilly. And we were laughing behind him, and he turned around and he shushed me.
Wow.
And my response
Yeah.
to Bob Woodward was, "Did you just shush me?"
Yeah.
And he was like, and he turned away, and I was like, "Fuck this guy." And so then I realized that Wired was bullshit and that he had fucked up.
Wait,
to some-
why? Why?
Vale.
I don't think-
Do you remember Vale?
Yeah.
Well,
The whole thing where he said he was like, was it Bill Casey or something? Who's at his,
Yeah.
at his
Yeah.
deathbed
Yeah.
and it wasn't real.
Well, no, he was blinking his eyes.
Yeah, he
like
was
that
like-
French guy who wrote the diving
Yes,
bell.
do you remember the butterfly?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah, he
well-known
was like,
medical
"I killed
condition.
Allende."
Second or third time
Yeah.
he's come up in 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
The diving
Diving
bell.
bell,
And
yeah.
the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
He was
And the last
the
time I was
editor
wrong.
of French
you're-
L or something.
Yeah,
like
or
that.
Vogue or something. But yeah, if you're a magazine editor, you know how that is going to be how you end.
Yeah.
Like blinking out to a nurse.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, geez, get it over with.
But
yeah, Bob
I
Woodward,
think
awesome,
I
yeah.
think that the Bob Woodward book is accurate, and that's why people
And
hate it.
I
Dreyfus
dissent, sir.
Yeah,
is
why?
rolling his eye around
Oh,
in his head.
Prior to Ben Dreyfus,
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
so mad about
his one
that.
eye sort of twitching. Prior to that, like just from reading it when it came out, compared to what we knew at the time, just like it felt, he like was writing about a Hollywood world that he had no fucking
sure.
comprehension of, and so they're kind of like partying.
But they
mores
also
and stuff.
shut him out.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
but like it would just it was wooden on its face. Like
Yeah.
it just, he was outraged by things that I didn't trust it. Like it ruined my trust in Bob Woodward.
Really?
That book. Yeah.
I didn't have any because I'm on his side. I'm a Carl Bernstein
I'm a-
truther.
Yeah.
You know?
As evidenced by your hair.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Thank you.
Played wonderfully in the movie Dick by Bruce McCullough from Kids in the Hall. Brilliant. It should have been an Oscar, to be honest. The last final thing that
Okay.
we were in a group text chain that I couldn't make this, but you did
Yeah.
it the other day.
Yeah.
That Eli Lake, our mutual friend,
Who would be here? except
who would
that
be
he's a
here,
traitor.
but
yeah.
he's a good Jew, unlike Olivia, so he's
that's right.
celebrating. But Eli had an episode idea that everyone takes 3 songs. You do this with our pal Noam Dorman and
Right.
Eli. What were the 3 songs that you chose? But there were 3 songs. Just talk about them, why they were influential in your life.
And
et cetera, et cetera.
I am not sure how and when that will come out. And I was embarrassed for myself because Eli and Noam know music and have good taste. And I went with Rock and Roll by the Velvet Underground.
Yeah.
And which I like because I talked about how like the whole idea that rock would save
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You know, and Jenny, like nothing was going on.
Yeah.
And then she heard the rock and roll radio.
Yeah.
And like everything was going to be okay. And we ended up talking about, you know, how the Doobie Brothers, like, you know, if you've got
You're the
cancer,
Eli, you're going to talk to about the
yeah,
Doobie
but
Brothers.
if you've got
It's really-
cancer, you know, let the music do the talking and the cure. It's like, it's going to be okay. And rock music was something that made everything good. The second song I did was The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because that was the first song, and this is where I guess Matt and I are kind of in the same age range where you know,
Kind of.
yeah,
No, I remember when it came out. Yes.
yeah, but that was the first single I bought because I would listen to it on the bus ride home from school, and it was on, you know, like for 6 months it was constantly on, and it would take most of the ride home. But you know, you had no control over what music you heard as a kid because you were in a car with an AM radio that your mother controlled, or somebody else's mother controlled, or you were on the bus, or like you know, you would listen to the radio and like you would just hope that you would hear the song you wanted to hear. So I bought it and then tried to copy out the lyrics because I was like, this is the most profound story that has ever been told. And I would like stop it after 5 seconds and like, is that Gucci Gimme or Gitchy Goomy, whatever. Finally wrote it down, and then I was like, I don't know what this is. But you couldn't get lyrics anywhere or any information about anything. And then when I found out years later that The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, the song came out in 76, the wreck happened in 1975. I was like, fuck you, Gordon Lightfoot. Like, I thought this was from the 19th century.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck did a ship disappear on a Great Lake
Yeah.
and all of that? And then years later, I was boring my kids even more than I'm boring you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm
Tell
with
me
you.
about that Leon
I'm with
Klinghoffer
you.
record that you're really into.
Yeah, the 2 shots and a splash, the Leon Klinghoffer cocktail that was all the rage in New York for a while. The Achille Lauro deck of
Yeah,
the
the wreck
Love
of
Boat.
the Achille
No,
Lauro.
but I was telling my kids about you know, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and they're like, Dad, this is a terrible song. And we were driving for 5 hours, and NPR ran a CBC radio interview with Gordon Lightfoot where he talked gleefully, and he was like 85 years old, and he was like, I was reading Newsweek or Time, and it's like I saw this small item about the shipwreck, and I was like, oh, that's a Cracker Jack. That's a Cracker Jack. That's gonna make a big hit. And it was like, my God, like you are so calculating, Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah, the
It
B-side
was
was the
disturbing.
Rated in Tebe, not as
Right.
good.
Yeah. Or the People's Temple, you know, will not be, you know, Flavor Aid, not Kool-Aid. And then the final
A
song.
great song. It's a fucking
great
great
song.
It is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
And it's also, Lightfoot is interesting in that, you know, he's like obviously a folk performer and he's great. That song, like a lot of mid-70s stuff, has so many bleeps and bloops and weird like production tricks in it. It's like terrible when you listen to it now. Like it should be
He was
a straight
also-
guitar.
He was also part of the Folkies who went to Nashville and recorded in the mid 60s. Part of that sort of Dylan thing. He was on the Vanguard.
Dylan loves Gordon Lightfoot.
Yes.
too.
Like,
He's like, he's like, oh, he's
he
the
would
greatest,
show
one of
up
the greatest
and, like,
songwriters
just
ever.
really drunkenly nominate him. For
The greatest Dylan cover of another artist is the cover of Chris Christopherson's "They Killed Him," which is, I like if you ever need to break somebody and like say like if you laugh over the next 3 minutes, we'll kill you. Played Bob Dylan's cover of "They Killed Him," and it will. Anybody would laugh at that. It's so bad. It's great. But and then the final song was because I was getting nostalgic, and this also had something to do with rock, but it was Heart's Barracuda. Or not, I'm sorry, not Heart's Barracuda, Magic Man. Which is a song about my wife refers to the you know, we all hear about men who are pussy whipped, but you know, there are women who are dick whipped that will stay with somebody, and like Magic Man is the ultimate dick whip anthem. And it's actually Ann Wilson. Ann Wilson's like had a boyfriend who was a draft dodger who she followed to Canada, and she was trying to tell her mother like why she was leaving, and it was because he was the Magic Man.
They hate each other, the sisters, right?
They have
Because
they've
like the husband of one of them beat up the son of the other one.
Well, and then somebody
true.
one of their dogs bit one of their
Yeah,
kids.
yeah, yeah.
But they've kind of
A great
reconciled.
band destroyed by a dog bite in like some private man.
It is
an
so
amazing
great.
story. It's like
And
so
I love
stupid.
that too when they do the heart. And it might just be Ann Wilson who lost. Yeah, I mean, like they were like at the beginning of like the sexual liberation of rock. Like they were the first band where they're fronted by a woman and a guitar playing woman,
That
good
Kim
looking.
Fowley wasn't involved with.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, the Runaways were, are also there, but it's all part of something where, rock, and this is why rock is great, is because it dissolved everything. And it was, this rhetoric did not go over well because Noam, who knows music, like for me, the function of music is to separate yourself from your parents.
Yeah.
And for him, it's continuity because his father was a musician and, and I did not get to tell the story, but I think I've told this before, but I will tell this one very quickly and leave. Like my parents, like they stopped listening to music like in 48 or something like that. Yeah. And when I was in high school.
The last Artie Shaw record was
no,
enough.
they were like, and they would be like, Artie Shaw was married to Ava Gardner or whatever.
Bad man.
Yeah. But when I came home the night that John Lennon was shot, was killed, and my father was up, cause it was like in the middle of the night, and he said to me, like, one of those Beatles was killed. And I was like, what do you mean?
George.
What do you mean? And I was like, well, which one? And he was like, I don't know. Like, why would he? Yeah. And then he said, not the one with the nose, the one with the wife. And I was like, oh, John Lennon. And he's like, yeah, that's it. And so that's why I liked, that's why I like rock music. And like the Beatles weirdly now are like such a nostalgia act for their parents' music that I like them. I mean, they're great and all that, but like, I like Lou Reed is, like the disease of rock and roll. Like it's, all the antibodies have been destroyed and you are starting to just, kill yourself. And that's like what's great about rock. So it's not the
Lonnie
music.
Donegan. His great song Jack of Diamonds. What was the first record you bought with your own money, or
single or LP?
Not like someone gave to you.
Jodeci's "Forever My Lady."
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
He says there is no such thing.
You
as
were
race.
Joe
Yes,
Bryant.
My first single was "Island Girl."
Oh yeah,
by Elton John.
You're living in your white man's world.
Objectively racist song.
And is that, what's the B-side on that? Is it like "Grow Some Funk of Your Own" or something? Because it's a Rock of the Westies.
It's really
that's
bad.
And
then my first album was obviously Paradise Theater by Styx.
Obviously, yeah.
A great Reaganite anthem to resuscitate the American dream.
What about you, Mr. Moynihan?
2 records at once, Combat Rock and Billy Squire's Emotions and
Oh,
Motions.
No, he was...
And I do periodically watch the Billy Squier video.
He's so good.
But what is it?
My Kind of Lumber.
It's like Something the Night, the one where he's... No, the one where he's flailing on the ground. You know this video that famously ruined his career. And he's like doing this thing, and he's dancing around like this.
But that was all those videos from that time. I saw the Clash on the Combat Rock tour in Asbury Park. At the Asbury Park Convention Center.
Was Terry Crimes,
Tory
Crimes?
Terry Chimes was not there.
Was not playing
Topper Heaton. He was... Because I think he was there for part of the tour, and then he jumped up again.
Was like a little too much
well, he had his priorities. He was like Dick Cheney in Vietnam. He had his priorities.
I don't think he played at the US Festival. I think it was. I think that was. Terry,
but
Terry
that was
Chimes.
also one of the worst concerts. Like that was one of the most anticipated concerts I was going to go to see the Clash, and I was like, Combat Rock kind of sucked. Which I think it really does.
Well,
but,
the Allen Ginsberg appearance was not very good.
No, it's most of the songs are terrible. But then they played like junk stuff from Sandinista, like not even the good things. It was not a good concert. So,
well, Nick Gillespie.
All right, thank you, boys.
Thank you so much.
Here's to the next 10 years.
Yeah, all right. Here's the next 10 years.
Flying,
thank you so much. We're gonna bring Nancy out to finish off.
Nancy out.
Nancy out to finish off.
I'm gonna take a bio break and then come right back.
Bio
What's
break.
that? Oh, it was ground news.
Ground
now?
news?
Do you have ground news? What, to get people to get mad at us again? All right. Well, we're going to finish off our anniversary. By the way, just to be clear, and I'm about 9 drinks in, and I haven't eaten all day, so it's a tough night for me. That we are doing a live show. It's sold out though, so why should I even mention that it's sold out? Reason. And that's what day, Jason? At the April 12th. You can hang out in front of the Village Underground and look for scalp tickets.
But we're also going to, can I say, afterwards, there's an after party at the Three Sheets.
An after party
upstairs,
right next door at the Three Sheets upstairs.
You can probably sneak into that. It's going to be crazy. And fun.
If you can't get a ticket, come and hang out afterwards. We're going to do a blowout live show.
Yes.
This is the pre-blowout of it. Nancy, I got to ask you something. As
Please.
the den
Please.
mother of the
Yes.
Fifth Column.
Yes.
And I mean that in the most sort of
loving,
Sexy.
open-minded,
way.
sexy
Yeah.
way, is you resurfaced a story that you wrote.
I did.
Which kind of plays in to what Kmele was talking about with the guy, Christian.
Kind of.
I mean, it's the same thing, right?
It's very, very, very
but it's
similar.
sad in the sense that this guy.
Very sad.
It was a similar story. Tell the brief version of the story.
Sure. So there was a preacher and mayor from a small Alabama town. Bubba Copeland, and a couple of years it was revealed that he had the same sort of interests and fetishes. It's not exactly just like, oh, I'm trans. There's a sort of desire for extreme genitalia. Like, he wrote a lot of fiction, and I read a lot of the fiction that he published, which got him in a lot of trouble, in fact. But it was like having breasts like this big, having an ass that big. And
I was with you until the second one, but go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the things, so what happened with Bubba Copeland was it got discovered that he had written this fiction. Now, I should mention his wife knew that he did this. Like, there were pictures of them together where he'd sort of dressed I think
voluptuously.
I mean, he was sort of a chunky guy, himself, but yes, it was accentuated. And but the stories came out, some pictures he had posted came out, and he became very desperate, and he tried to ask for like peace and forgiveness, and his church, in fact, they were pretty okay with it, not like super celebratory of it, but that church for a long time had been super.
Where he was, as you just mentioned, a preacher.
He was a preacher. That church had been very accepting. They had a congregation that did have some gay people in it, which, it's a small town Alabama. It's not exactly what you would think of, as the most progressive, right? Okay, Camille's like, ugh, Nancy's here. I'm putting on my suit.
No, I didn't
Whatever.
I'm gonna watch Dune.
So
Again.
he sort of asked for like calm, but of course, as these things do, the story caught fire, and his mother actually called. It's a really small town. Called the sheriff or whatever and said, "I'm really worried about my son." They found him. He was driving slowly on one of the local roads, and he got out of the car and he killed himself right in front of the police.
I just walk into.
The story that I wrote several years ago, very much a man, very much with the same proclivities as Kristi Noem's husband. So one of the things about this, I mean, is they're like, well, some people are like, well, we don't care what he does, but like, why does he have to, if he puts a picture on the internet, then it's his problem. But one of the things that people that have these desires, they want to be recognized. All right, if you want to be recognized, what are you just going to do? Sit in your room? No, we have this thing called the internet, and people want to watch. They want to give you love. They want to give you support. And he got a lot of that. One of the things that he did is he wrote these stories about, he was a meek guy and he was going to transition. He was going to be like the sexiest and the hottest. And then the fiction morphed into, and I'm going to take over this beauty salon where there's this woman that's really great. I'm going to take over her life and sleep with her husband. And it was fiction, but he based it on a real woman in town.
Yeah, that's not.
And
he's the mayor.
He was the mayor and the preacher. And when I went and did the story, because I went down there, actually went to her beauty salon. And I had my hair done there because she wouldn't talk to me. But I'm like, well, let me just like hang out. I got this big giant southern. I have a picture of it.
Came out as
It's
Tammy Faye.
crazy. But she was actually working on a customer in the chair next to me. She was just a small, petite, very blonde, southern, actually a little bit tomboy, not Tammy Faye. But the story is very, very like Kristi Noem's husband. And one thing I have to say, I'm not a fan of Noem because I've heard her lying about ICE things that
Yeah.
I've been involved in.
Kinda
Like
problem.
I'm there with my own eyeballs seeing,
yeah.
I know you're lying.
Not good person.
But what I really felt kind of crummy about yesterday is when she came out and she's like, well,
It's a
we're
surprise to
we're
all
just
of us.
devastated
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just say, you know what? It's my family. Just back off. Of course, no one's going to back off. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But she really, I thought that was really shitty, man. To like, her husband has to be in some anguish right now. And to just sort of like, oh, we're devastated. Fuck off.
I tried to tell him, Nancy. I tried to tell him.
Well, I'll tell a story, a very brief story, that I discovered somebody in a similar situation. Did similar thing, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, did similar, but well, not necessarily that. But somebody who is a public figure.
Okay.
And
Is it weird to eat pizza while you tell
Yes,
the story?
it is.
No, you're
It is,
hungry, you're
'cause this
hungry.
is a tragic story, Camille. It's actually not a tragic story.
Oh, okay.
And I discovered this in the course of reporting something. And I never told anyone about it. I didn't
I was gonna say,
reveal.
I've never heard this story.
Yeah, I will tell you after. Not you guys.
Well, it depends how much money they put on there, right? Okay, come on.
Let's get a
come on.
super chat.
That's right.
$1,000 out here, $1,000, $10,000.
Yeah, you give it like 40 ringgit, and I'm like, okay, fine.
Run it.
Yeah, no, and I had an enormous amount of sympathy for this person,
Yeah.
and didn't want their young career in politics to be
did you-
adversely affected by this because it was irrelevant to the story that I was doing.
Right.
So I ended up not doing the story, not because of this, because of something else. It was a trust thing with this particular source. But in the process of this, I discovered something I didn't want to discover. And as somebody who's done a lot of plagiarism stories, you know, and this is our friend John Ronson, and I've talked to him about this. It's in his book.
Wait, he's not the one who was doing this.
Yes, it
Weird.
was.
John Ronson with tits.
Yeah. What?
Super hot.
Hi.
Hello, they're like double D's. Yeah. I look like, Jane Mansfield. Yeah, okay. All right, we get it, John. Yeah. Do you know Diana Dawes? She's British. No, it was not John. But in that process, and of course in John's book, I had an interaction with him about what I had unleashed, which was not what I had unleashed. It was what the person had done. In that moment when you're like, oh, fuck, this wouldn't have happened without me. Nobody was paying attention. And this is particularly the story of this person who was a plagiarist. But I had a similar experience. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. And it was something akin to this. And I said, you know what? Not relevant to the story. And I'm not going to talk to anyone about it. And I'm not going to point it out. But yeah.
I think we've all done this. You're working on a story, and obviously, you gather 7,000
lot of
different
string. Yeah.
tidbits, and obviously not everything makes it into the story. It's impossible. But occasionally you will come on something you're like, oh, that's kind of weird. But is it
part
in service to the story? No, it's not.
Yeah. I mean,
You
look,
know?
there would have been a world in which I could have released this and it could have gotten big on the internet for 2 days. 2 days, maybe 1 day. The guy wasn't that prominent, but was getting prominent. And it would have ruined the person's life. God knows what happens at that point.
Yeah.
And then it would have been forgotten about for a handful of clicks. It didn't
It's
seem
not.
right.
I will say I republished the story today on
You did,
and it's
And that was a real clear
gotten-
investigation.
It was. I did it for Real Clear. It's about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, and I had also put it on my Substack, and I reposted today. It's gotten a lot of attention because people are interested in this, and I have to say, most people are pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, this is kind of sucky.
Yeah.
You get some of the haters, but
What are you
that's
gonna
what
do?
they do.
And part of your story, if I remember it correctly, was that his proclivities were kind of maliciously put out there
Oh, they were
by
put,
his enemies.
Yes, they
Yes.
were put out by a very, very staunchly Christian, extremely pro-Trump newspaper
yeah.
that had started actually sort of by some really super right-wing Christian supporters that basically wanted to take him down, and they did it. And I actually talked to the author of it, who was a pretty green reporter, and he even was saying to me, like, I'm not really that much of a reporter.
It's kind of oppo research.
Yeah, and
as
he
reporting.
was, I can't say that.
What was his feeling about when he killed himself? Did he have some
Well,
remorse
there
about it, or was he?
it's funny because I think he did, but he also was there, like,
Yeah.
where the publication was tiny. There were like
Yeah.
6 people altogether, and the people that were the head of it would not speak with me. They did a podcast after he killed himself together, which was pretty grotesque. Like, well, I don't know why people are looking at us. I mean, we're just reporting the news, like that. And it's like, yeah, but like, why was this news? What is every one of your editors? You've been editors. Why this story now? Why are we telling this story?
Would you make the case though? This is the moral leader. He's the preacher, and he's
Well,
living this double
then-
life. The mayor.
Then isn't that up to his congregants?
Yeah, for sure.
And
Right.
they
But you have to inform the
okay,
congregants, right?
Well, I don't
No,
know.
I'm just playing devil's
Yeah,
advocate. I don't
they-
know. Yeah.
They didn't. He did not go up and say, hey, like, by the way, hey, it's Wednesday at 3. I'm going to let you know. He did not tell them. But he did do one short sermon after he was exposed. And he's like, this was my personal life. It's between my wife and me and my God. And they were pretty accepting of him.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have to, it all happened pretty quickly. Exposure within, I think it was 5 days, he had killed himself.
Jeez.
So, who knows? Would they have curdled? Would they have gotten more angry? I don't know. But I don't really think it's up to somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
it's too easy to be an asshole on the internet. That's
It
what
is.
we know.
Hey, guys,
Yeah.
I brought you some gifts from the old
Okay,
studio.
some
Cake. Oh.
Oh, right.
Did you make that cake, Nancy?
Yes, no.
Yeah.
I didn't. But
Yeah,
it's
that
good,
was
right?
Stop
I
and
didn't
Shop.
get to taste
It's
any.
there's so
Nobody
much of it.
brought us any
Okay,
cake.
so the first present is for Camille.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Unfurl the
Oh,
present.
I know what this is.
Yeah.
I'm your Huckleberry. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So that
The
for
old
for
studio.
people that don't know,
Greatest film ever made.
Yeah.
people
Never seen it, but okay.
we're assuming they
You've
know.
never seen it.
but
We'll
I
talk
tried
about it
to
after.
watch it. It's terrible.
I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
I know. Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm gonna let you finish
Okay.
and I'll leave.
All right. So
Yeah.
for
I'm
people
not
that
gonna
don't
walk
know,
out now.
these guys taped in my apartment for 3 years. We built a
Yeah.
little studio, and so
Before
obviously
this.
that's
Yeah.
before this.
Yeah,
it
before
was.
this.
This is
Before
almost
that.
as good
Yeah.
as,
Almost.
the,
I
as
was
the
gonna say,
studio
this
was.
is- I mean,
we don't have
yeah.
any pigeons here.
Yeah, we're a little
outside-
embarrassed,
out of the
actually.
window. But these are some of the things from the old studio. So Michael, this is for you.
What is this? Oh, that's gonna get people. Come to join you with a half bottle of Ribble and an old toothbrush.
All right.
Yeah,
I
that
don't-
is the great Red Fox, my hero.
I don't have something specific for Matt, but I will say so. Our good friend Ben Price was the first person to send booze to you guys because he was making beer.
Correct.
Throat
correct.
punch ale.
And
Yes.
when they started taping in January of 2021, Ben Dreyfus, first guest in the living room,
Obviously.
everything falling down, trying to set up. And somehow the clarion call went out, hey, send us booze. Guys, we had so much booze.
We did, yeah.
We had
It's
so much
terrible.
booze.
Yeah.
Like the entire credenza, inside the credenza, moving it like into the bathroom. Anyway,
Correct.
most of it has either been consumed
Yes.
or has
Yes.
migrated over here. But this
Yeah.
one,
Give it his chin.
I
We will never stop
understand
drinking,
you
yes.
guys now have like the Tiffany's of liquors.
Yes.
It's a pretty
Oh,
good
wow.
bottle of booze.
Yeah.
So it was
Can we
still
talk about
there
what
and
we're making, the
unopened,
booze?
so we got that.
Oh, that's right. That's from a
That's
I don't know
pretty
who sent it. We
an
unfortunately some of the cards that came with
Yes.
things sometimes got lost. But if you sent this 4 years ago,
Thank you.
it has now
Thank you.
made
Yes.
its,
Found its home.
appearance.
Yes.
So
Well, I will say this to end this disaster of a podcast as it used to be. We're going back to our roots of being a total fucking disaster. Is that we didn't do a podcast that was like Pod Save America with these guys, and we like those guys. We like one of those guys in particular. I don't know about the other ones. Who's one who came on here? That we came out of the Obama administration, and we did a podcast, and we did a podcast in Midtown Manhattan. And the guy that was our
Obama.
is
Well.
now is in jail. He went
yes,
to jail.
yes.
Oh no, but he was not our Obama.
No, he's
No.
not our Obama, but
No.
he's not our
Yeah.
producer, but he was our engineer.
Yeah.
He went to prison.
We paid
Yes.
him money.
We paid him money.
paid him money.
What he did with that money was buy more hard drives
Uh,
to
stop,
store images.
stop.
That's
What?
enough.
It's true.
I know.
What do you think? I'm gonna fucking defend
I
him?
know.
Jesus Christ. That's what we did, and then we went to Nancy's.
Well, no, first there was at your
And-
place
well,
for
then
a
we
little
went to
while.
my
revealed.
apartment.
Went to your
Stupid
apartment.
table.
Which
Stupid
stupid table,
Stupid
big
table.
vaulted ceiling,
Right.
sounded
Yeah.
horrible.
That-
Where we
in
were-
fact,
Where we
let's-
recorded one of my favorite episodes.
Which one?
In the history of this podcast.
Talk
with Nancy
about it.
Rommelmann.
Oh, and Nancy passed on the table? Yeah.
I mean, to say
Yeah.
a whole bunch more.
Yeah.
And
I was
Nancy, you
busy.
were great. You were glorious that night.
Gee.
You were.
Yeah.
You were.
The
It
best.
was a
You were
really good
basically
night.
saying the best Nancy was is when she
No.
was sleeping
It
at
was
the
by
table.
the end. I mean, that was
And,
an epic recording. It was more than 2 hours.
And by the way, thank you, Laura Ross, one of my favorite listeners. Said
Yeah.
playoff ticket fund. The Bruins now have about a 97% chance of making the playoffs. So thank you. You are the best. We love you
you, Laura.
dearly. My daughter loves you dearly. And then went to Stupid Table in Williamsburg.
Yep.
And then
Nancy
to your.
remembers very well.
And then Nancy had an apartment. Yeah. Nancy slept there many times. Then Nancy had an apartment that had a kind of adjunct apartment.
Yep.
That had some Chinese spy living in it.
Yep.
And when
Yep.
she left, we took that over as our studio.
I built that studio in my nightgown.
Yes, and we were like packed in like this. It was
Table.
unbelievable.
It was like 1/5 the size of this room.
It was amazing.
so
There were
small.
people
This
making
table
like
couldn't fit in
Louis
that
Vuitton,
room.
like fake Louis Vuitton bags next to us. It was bad.
And the pigeons right
And it
outside
pigeons
the
in the
It was,
window.
oh my God! It was
would
like
actually
in
do the
Chinatown.
while we
Dude.
recorded.
A
Yeah.
disaster.
How many people came through that place?
So many great people.
So many great
Kornacki.
people.
Yes, we had
Kornacki more
Steve,
than once.
Dreyfus,
Ronson came on a
sadly.
bunch there. We had a lot of great
Vivek.
people
It
there.
was great.
Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
We had Vivek Ramaswamy there. That's right.
Mary Catherine. Everybody
Everybody.
came there.
And then we had a listener who, I gotta say, was the best listener, who is the person who helped us do this. And that is, do we have a name for him? The Poobah Jonathan, the shitty Jonathan?
No, fucking Jonathan.
No, fucking Jonathan. That's right. Fucking Jonathan comes through with this, brings us to another level. 10 years
Yep.
Yeah.
of doing
Yep.
this,
Yep.
and it has been a
I asked him if
glide
he's gonna
path
do a
Going up and
cameo
up.
to
tonight.
a fucking great podcast.
Going up and up.
And that doesn't happen without you guys, and it's been
Yeah.
amazing.
It's
So
great.
thank you
It's great.
so much. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Camille.
Jonathan.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you,
Yes.
Nancy. All of you guys are amazing.
We have Go764 for $5. Moynihan seems excitable today.
Yep.
It's cocaine. Did he just take a peek at Brian Noam?
Byron, yeah.
New content.
Yeah.
wow.
I was on a flight today and I did see it. And
Yeah.
my daughter was like, "What are you?" Not even joking. She's like, "What are you looking at?" And I said, "A hot girl. Don't judge."
Not hot. Just not hot.
No, not. Literally not hot.
Trans
Yeah.
women are women.
Terrible.
Let's go.
But fucking Jonathan, thank you so much. And fucking all of you.
Let's
Thank
go.
Thank you guys.
Love
And
you
we'll see you
guys.
at the live show.
Yep.
And if you're not there, the bar after.
Yeah, come scalp some tickets.
Thanks,
It'll be fun.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Nancy.
We know of new methods of attack.